charges. They got him on evading taxes.
They got me on nothing.
True. Historical fact about Al Capone.
What? That he had syphilis? Yeah. Well, both are true. No, he was so beloved by the public that the public wouldn't. Basically, they couldn't try him under a jury, so they basically went the civil route so a jury wouldn't be present for it.
Because I haven't gotten a good night's sleep in 4 days. I don't know. I haven't been able to breathe while sleeping.
I think you have been, otherwise you wouldn't be here.
Like, I haven't been able to breathe properly.
Damn.
You need to sleep in a small room.
25 years of One Piece anime.
Does that mean they released the next batch of English dub episodes?
No, but they're doing a 24-hour episode of every single episode of One Piece on YouTube.
Yeah.
So 5 years?
That's 1,000 episodes.
Oh yeah, and they're fucking doing it. But you have to be in their country to do it.
So you mean I have to, you know.
That.
That's $50
that's
a
Bobby's
month.
World, baby. That's Bobby's World coming in hot.
Bobby, I told you, Bobby is leaving Activision Blizzard to go be the new CEO of Unity.
Microsoft.
I mean, that makes more sense.
Hey, I heard Destiny's.
Bobby will be making that money.
Bungie's on fire. Maybe they should get him for CEO.
Yeah. Crying.
Trust me, Bungie doesn't need any more shitty executives.
You're talking about
why are there
Bobby's
so many
amazing,
people
right?
here?
It's a meme. When we say Bobby's World, it's a bad shit.
The one that was just fired from Unity? The one that was in charge of EA?
Deserve.
The one that wanted microtransactions in Battlefield to where you needed to pay to reload your gun. Hey, you want to know what game created loot boxes? It wasn't Overwatch. It was Mass Effect 3.
Ooh. Totally forgot about that.
Yeah, but who even played that game?
I did. Fuck you.
Yeah, screw you.
Wait, what?
And the
game?
multiplayer was amazing.
I agree with that.
All my friends said ME3 was amazing. I tried to play Andromeda with them when it came out, and it was trash.
Just the ending sucked.
Yeah, the beginning part, the early start was 100% trash. I agree with that. It was buggy as shit. They didn't know what the fuck they were doing. They improved it, so it was fun.
I forgot Mass Effect even had multiplayer.
Oh, I enjoyed Andromeda. I meant my friends didn't. But I'm pretty sure they were just stuck on the ME3 thing.
I never played Andromeda because it just got so much shit.
It was aight.
Why'd you kill a worm with a shoe? The boy was gonna bite you.
Dude, you should have gone fishing.
It
doesn't deserve that.
Fucking used hockey to fucking kill a worm. God dang.
Florida has that one like flathead species of worm that's like super invasive right now.
A lot of invasive.
I mean, Florida is an invasive species, but
Fortunately, Florida is native.
I disagree.
Florida.
Pretty
You're
sure
not
they
native
invaded
Florida.
Florida before the crocodiles were the actual owners.
A champion.
Florida used to belong to the alligators, and then the freaking humans took over.
Get demolished. Change one to demolish. I recommend.
What's the apex predator?
Florida man.
True. It explains the
they
weird
can
shit that
demolish.
goes on every other day there.
Oh yeah.
Every other day. Every day.
Trying to be nice about it, but alright.
Don't need to be nice about the nature of Florida
You'll
man.
thank me later,
See,
because
but-
holy shit, you get to push towers so much more.
Florida man's not an invasive species because is it a Florida man once it leaves Florida?
Yes, absolutely.
You'll know a Florida man when he's outside his comfort zone, because he'll still be a Florida man.
Yep.
That's most
Shrivel in
people.
the cold, they run butt ass naked across the streets, then they tell you where them.
Well, running butt ass naked across the streets
Okay, but
is
do you
a
shoot
little
at the
more broad.
hurricanes with your gun?
They probably do.
It's a balloon up in the sky.
So we have that in common, at least.
I mean, I too would like to shoot a balloon down the sky if it gives the opportunity.
I didn't realize that Florida man and Texas man were cousins.
Yes, 100%.
They are related. Oh gosh.
You
But
guys
why?
are gun brothers.
Fun for the whole family.
Ah, yes, there we
Mississippi's in the
go.
middle.
I was going to
Yeah,
ask who the
totally
mother
fine.
was in this situation.
Can't believe you.
Can't believe you said that.
Bye, chat.
Bye.
Bye.
I needed to get away from them. They were going to say something, chat, that was going to get me ad limited on YouTube. Forgive me. I made the mistake of starting a League of Legends game at, basically, I think it was like 7:25, and then it proceeded to be a 50-minute game. So, yeah, that was the thing. I pretty much have gotten live as fast as I can. His artwork. Oh, right. Yeah, it's a really good, good Lartoria one. But then why do I not see it in my folder? Oh, there we go. Okay. Just a second, chat. I'm going through this about as fast as I can. There's my sauce. Hello, Natasha. How are you today? Okie dokie. And then let me grab you guys today's sauce, which I don't know what I did with. Ah, there it is. Okay. Weird. Again, thank you guys for your patience. Apologies again. We should be good to go. Let's get this party started. Oh, I think we also have some very nice background art. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Here is today's artwork. Go give the artist some love. This is an artist that you guys should be familiar with. If you don't recognize it, it's one of the two members of Redrop. And then let me edit the art command over there on YouTube and enjoy. First we didn't get the Apocrypha banner, now we still don't have the DL campaign. What the fuck? Yep. I mean, Lucario, I think you were here yesterday when I was recording. You heard me talk about it. You should know. But okay. Let's get this party going. Again, nothing really happening right now, chat. You guys kind of know from the recording yesterday that we're pretty much on a wait and see for the DL campaign for Gouda 6. I'm going to go ahead and get you guys prepped for Gouda 6. We did the review yesterday. I got the video out today on YouTube. And today we're going to be going over Okuni, but I do have the challenge quest that has to be done on NA. I did do literally everything else, so not going too bad here. Lasagna fucking up the schedule. What's new? Yeah, exactly. Redrop is a duo? Yes. Redrop is a circle, if you will. That means it is a collection of artists, and circles can be, a few members, big. It just depends on like how many people are in there. Usually, though, circles are small. And Redrop is, like I said, again, a duo. Okay, just throwing that in there so that I have enough space to actually do something. Yes, and Faye is back from vacation. I hurt the shit out of the CQ just like the first time. Yeah, you can do that. Oh my. I knew I was almost full. I'm not even going to bother with all the C's. I'm just going to do enough to be able to go into a node. Come on, fingers. There we go. Hiding in my room, I see. How much FP have I rolled so far? Honestly, not much. I've probably rolled like 500,000, maybe a little bit more of that. I know that's probably disappointing to people to hear. The way I've explained it before is that I'm constantly having to do Grail casting FP rolls on JP, so I am like beyond burnt out on rolling out my FP. I have 22 million on NA to roll out, and that's before a lotto, so it's just gonna be a case of like, it is what it is. I also don't really need the CE bombs at the moment, so the big incentive for me to do it is for coins, and I wail so much on NA that I'm probably gonna be one of those people that I will never run out of coins. Because like, Chad, even my mostly free-to-play JP account is it has gone like almost 2 years now without running out of coins. So, well, sorry. It's run out of coins, but it hasn't run out of FP to make the coins, so I don't foresee my NA having an issue. Alright, let's go touch a bell run here in Oxford. And I know this isn't the best bell node, but I do it because I get both materials from it. and I need both materials, but that's just to get the AP spent down. But you need to prepare for NA Grail casting? Yeah, I'm that far ahead. Like I said, don't do what I'm doing though. I'm literally telling you guys, don't like be lazy like me, because I am well prepared in order to be able to handle Grail casting regardless, and I should be doing it. It is just a simple case of like time and effort that that make me not want to right now. So whereas like chat, there's gonna be like times where I'm like stuck with family during the holidays and have nothing better to do. Yeah, I could just pop open my phone and sit there rolling FP and do nothing. So that's not a huge issue. Doing okay. Nice, Natasha. All right. Yeah, I need to be doing that 90 plus plus. JP event is just like this out of sight, out of mind thing for me right now. Oh, Leo actually has an MLB. Let's see. Oh, wait, I need it on... No, yeah, this is correct. Okay. The scanner banner on JP is overly negative on Twitter for scanners non-buff. Yeah, I saw that. Like, we were talking about it yesterday, and you guys know how I feel about that. The devs should buff when they think it's relevant to, but I don't see what the heck was a relevant time if not then, right? So it's just up to them to try and do more. Does it look like the JP event has a CQ? Yeah, I'm weirded out by that, because like I've seemingly done everything, and I was like, huh, I was expecting a JP CQ, so that's fine though. That just means the NA CQ takes the JP CQ's place, because I somehow had forgotten to include that in my weekly plans. So we'll be doing the NA CQ tonight, getting it done, and then not having anything else to do. Wait, did I? Yeah, okay, that should be perfectly fine. We Digimon, thank you for the raid. How's it going, everybody? Sonic, thank you for the resub for 23 or almost 22 months. Ereto, Howler, and Weed, thank you guys all for the follows. How's it going? What were you guys up to today? And can one of my mods get them a shout out? Pretty much every event bonus servant could use a buff in this event. Yeah, like I said, I don't really know what the devs are doing. Right. Armaguda, nice. Well, I hope it's not too difficult for you. You know what? I don't have any of her cards, so we're just gonna go ahead and pop all the NPs there. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? Like that we don't have a CQ on JP. Yes. Again, hello. Welcome, everybody. If you guys have never met me before, my name's Khadroth. I stream FGO all the time. Actually, not that much going on right now on either server, because we're just in the midst of events that are well in progress. But I'm just spinning down AP. We're actually going to be doing the NACQ here in a little bit, and then we'll be actually going over Okuni, which is the upcoming new single-target caster with Gouda 6 that'll be coming out. We did the event review for it yesterday, so if you guys want to check that out, you guys can head on to my YouTube. But yeah, again, if you guys have any questions about FGO, feel free to ask. I'm always happy to help. But I hope you guys are having a fun time over there. We in cruise control at FGO, it's smooth, calm grinding. Well, like we were saying before, everyone's supposed to be doing their, you know, FP rolling. Me, on the other hand... Okay, yeah, I don't have a damage Mystic Code on JP right now. I'm actually doing 90++ because I don't have Cs. I am just doing it with, again, double Castoria Zenobia here and the damage She, and it's working out pretty good. It's usually like anywhere from a 4 to a 5 turn, and I basically am getting to level Atlas Mystic Code, which is one of the thorns in my side on JP. Yep, I leveled up. Are you kidding me? But you can see, like, I'm getting 60k a pop here. I am shredding this bar. It feels good. Time to use AP, yep. What I'll probably do is I will probably do this and then go do my Actually, how many days do we have left in the JP event, chat? Isn't it 3 weeks long? Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Screw it. I don't need a command seal. If there's no CQ, I don't need a command seal, so this is gonna be a 3-turn instead, chat. And I'm actually gonna pre-card just for the extra charge, because if I can manage to get both Castorias to their NP, it makes this easier on me. Also saving up for next year's servants, nice. The maid and the mice. Oh yeah, Daikokuten, the rats. They're fantastic actually. For a 4-star, they're an AoE Black Grail looping caster that's quick, which is kind of a rarity. You're not max level on JP? No, because they just increased it to 170. So JP has another 10 levels on NA. I'm 164 on JP right now, but they just increased it not too long ago. So it is what it is. A good quick unit impossible? Impossible. No, yeah, it's definitely not impossible. Finally got MP5 Habby, took over 3 million FP. Nice derpy. Yeah, it's I know some people had a lot of trouble rolling out their Habignons, and I was very lucky. I did not have it too hard. I think I got like NP5 for at about 500k. It was pretty easy, all things considered. Which is, you know, again, it's not like it's gonna stop my need to roll, because JP, we have 2 new permanent 3 stars added to the game with this event. So after their banner ends, I'm gonna have to roll even more FP on JP, which is also why, like, I could have rolled to finish my Grail casting for the month on JP, but I haven't. So I already have to do more FP rolling on JP, and FP rolling is the bane of my existence. Is Salter your favorite servant? Saber in general. All Saber faces are. Out of them, honestly, my favorite is Lartoria at this point, but I am still a huge fan of OG. OG Artoria just will always have a special place in my heart. So, in fact, she's the 120 that I'm working on right now. And Lartoria, Buntoria, and Artoria, like OG Artoria, I have all grailed to 120 on JP. And soon I'm going to have all 3 of those on NA when Artoria is done. Is year 7 the waifu hunting year? I'm gonna be real with you. I'm done in year 7. Like not done, chat, but like I've at that point gotten all the Saber faces basically, and so there's really nothing else I have to do. I think our next Saber face isn't until year 8 with Draco. So like, whenever we get that Rider Mordred banner in the Apocrypha banner, I'm good. Oh shit, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm treating this as like this is a 3-turn node, chat. I'm sorry. I'm just going burr. Year 8 has Zerctoria, yeah, but like, so we have Zerctoria and we have Beast Umu, but outside of that, like basically what I'm saying is I don't have anything I have to do in year 7. There is no unit I have to get. The one thing that I will say is I will still be rolling on like Proto Merlin. I will still roll on Summer Scotty. And we'll see. Like I have thought about Summer Ibuki. That'll actually probably depend on where my my whatchamacallit is at the time. Oh my god, I did not handle this one well. What the hell? There a faster play out of this? No, it's just going to be a command code again, which is going to suck because I'm probably going to have to use the final one on the next wave. You're forgetting Summer Morgan? No, I'm not. I know I have more I have to do in year 8. I'm talking about year 7, chat. Saying year 7, there's nothing I have to do. Does Ace count as a saber face? Yes. Anyone that has the like Arthur trait does. Anyone that has the I think it's like Arthur face trait does as well. Does Arcuid count? No. No. I mean, like, Chad, if you want me to say yes to that, I can. And then y'all will mauled when I declare Arcuid a Saberface. You'd be like, no, Ted, you can't take it on the Saberface only runs. No, that's unfair. You cheated. You'll sound exactly like that, chat. Okay? That is how I will read your chat comment in my brain. Okay, let's do that. Arturia is an arc face? No. No. You see, Arturia and the concept of an Arturia face predates Arc. Because Arcuid is a new unit with FGO that had never existed prior. Like, I actually am really excited that they've decided to put Arcuid in Tsukihime. I never had any idea that they had planned to do that. That was pretty big brain of them. Can be. We sound like Eric Cartman, yeah. Cat, do you think we'll get a new Guda Guda or Evocation Festival next? That's a lot of, like, what me and Trubs have talked about is that, like, you basically pick 2 of 3, chat. You want Ordeal Call 2? Do you want Guda 8? Or do you want, Christmas? Okay? Pick 2 of 3. You can only have 2. So this is the problem, and we pretty much know this because we're already gonna go deep into November with this event. So Xmas Ordeal Call. Okay, now you won't get one of those just because the devs don't want you to have nice things. Proto Merlin only existed through Proto Arthur. Okay. I identify as a Saberface. I mean, you can identify as one whether or not you are knightly, kingly, and beautiful and British. That's another thing entirely. I'm not going to assume. I'm not going to say that you're an ugly person or something like that. You might be a beautiful British person, but you would have to tell me. Maybe I'm dumb for that. Insert the Omni-Man from Mortal Kombat meme telling ARC fans to think. See, you just did the Arcuid thing right there, though, right? Where I said Arcuid's from FGO, and then you were like, Omni-Man from Mortal Kombat. Which is like... No. I identify as Drothcan? Why are there 2 Ds in that, though? Shouldn't it be Drothka? Stream actually cut off when you tried to say British, British, English, United Kingdom. If I say certain words, it's just gonna trigger people. Okay, what was I doing on these? Yeah, I basically need to go in with that. The UK is a myth. It was just a lost belt. I see. Let's go over NP11. Saber Lily. She was probably stealing all the luck. Yep. Can definitely happen. But yeah, as for what I think you're going to get next, I don't know. I don't think you're getting Ordeal Call at this point. So I'm going to tell you it's probably going to be something in the realm of, like, you know, Gouda and Christmas. And they'll just walk it in type thing. Oi, brav Excalibur, isn't it? Ah, yes, Cow is who I identify as. I understand. I too identify as Cow. I identify as Admiral Mellon's frickin' cow bikini Lartoria. We do need more Chinese servants. I don't know about that. I feel like we've gotten a lot lately. Like, if you were to consider Chinese servants as a category, holy shit, we have gotten way more of them recently. Like, I feel like we have gotten almost as many as we got in LB3, which is kind of wild. I identify as Admiral Akbar. So it's a trap? Wait, did I kill that without one of the Buster Bros? Okay. I do things. Chad, I need to start paying more attention to the game and ignoring you. I'm sorry. It's y'all are costing me command spells and I don't want to fuck this up. I really like the art today, thank you. It's redrops. Go give redrop the love. Still need space Annie Oakley. No, I mean, like, I'm not someone that's gonna say that you can't get, you know, Chinese units, right? It's just, I do feel like we've actually gotten quite a bit since, basically since Halloween of last year, right? Good at Xmas might be a possibility, to be fair. Sure. Yeah, I've said that before, is like low key, if they want to like make things fresh and like mix things up, like there is no reason you can't have like Gouda Christmas. There is no reason you can't have like Halloween summer, right? Because we kind of already had that, where like basically Summer 5 was kind of that. I don't know, like I think they could combine things with Chaldea Boys. They can which they kind of did for Gouda. They can combine things with Valentine's Day and stuff like that. So I think there's various events that they hold, you know, as sort of staples throughout the year that if they want to like freshen them up, they can take some of their other themes that they've put into other things and make that the theme for it, right? Saber Liz missed summer too. Wait, what do you mean? Very Nobu Christmas has some potential. Yeah. I mean, I want Santa Okita, because if it's Santa Nobu, dear God, that's like, y'all are not getting presents. I'm sorry. And if you get a present, it's a gun. Like, Elizabeth's Gouda Chaldea Summer Halloween Boys. Yes. Chaldea Summer Halloween Boys. I agree. Gotcha's dad as Santa. You get a concert as a present. Low key, chat. How many of y'all want Grail Live 2? I do. I loved Grail Live. I thought it was amazing. I don't know why people shat on that event. Like, I want Grail Live 2. Honestly, that was fun. It was the most fun I have had with an event in a long time, right? We need that double X costume staff. Yes. It's the 3 ladder panic as usual. Yeah, and I've talked about this, like, people get so, like, upset about ladders, and it's like, guys, it's not hard. Like you see people and like, oh, thank God the ladder's only 90k this time, and I'm like, 90k versus 3 million? Does not matter, because they just changed the pacing so that both take the same amount of time. Like, I don't know how people don't understand this. And then, yeah, it's the same thing with like multiple ladders. I get that people don't like a tedious event. That's one thing. And I think that's a fair criticism. But yeah, you definitely see people all the time that are like, oh man, ladders, no. Like ladders are the most brain dead, like, event type at this point. Bold of you to assume we'll get 2. I assume you'll get 2. Grey Life 2, please. Yeah. No, but I still get anxiety. You don't need to. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys this flat out. If like mission events should give you more anxiety than a ladder, because a ladder is just farm the best node and go. A mission event might be, yo, you want to do this at peak efficiency? Yeah, you need to go actually backwards and go farm that like shittier node a couple more times. That's what I don't like about mission events. Like, if you're not following a guide, you can kind of screw yourself sometimes. If they do good at Xmas, they could do Oh, hold on, I lost the comment. They could do Okada Izo Santa. Interesting. Oh shit. Hi Salter. Well, now we got you to bond 10. She sleeps though. Bond CE, she sleeps. Magma Dragon. I never follow a single guide and I finish everything early. Well, Deontay, that's because you pop apples. Like, we already know that. You'll finish every event early if you pop apples. Okay, so I got a Grail. Well, Bond Grail. Did I click the right thing? I did not click the right thing. I know I didn't click the right thing. That was Ascension that I went into. Okay, wait a minute. My Artoria bond capped? She shouldn't be. This must have just happened as well. I don't remember this. Did that happen with the Grailfront? 42 Bond Grails? Yeah, chat. You remember when I told you to stop buying Bond Grails? That you don't need them as much as you think you do? There was a reason I kept telling you that. JP got a huge influx of them. And even then, I'm gonna tell you right now, unless you just hard focus a Bond Grailed unit, which you don't need to, it's the same bond efficiency as normally bonding every other unit, only you had to buy a Bond Grail, thus making it a more costly thing. Just spread your bond around. Save your Bond Grails for like the meta supports and your favorite waifu. That's it. Stop buying Bond Grails other than that. Like when you get to the point where you're like, I don't know, should I be Bond Grailing that Nidochris or that Arash, and you're not using them that often? No, because you're not really missing out on that much bond, okay? 30 Saint Quartz greater than 12 Saint Quartz? Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now though, the 30 Saint Quartz takes you so fucking long to get to that at the end of the day, it's 30 Saint Quartz plus your rare prisms in order to actually equal that, okay? So you lose that rare prism in the process to try and get the 30, and it's the same bond efficiency as just bonding a 5-star. Seriously. Like bonding a 5-star 5 through 10 is the same as bonding a unit 10 through 11. And 11 through 12. And 12 through 13. It's all the same. Okay? They equalized the rate so that it doesn't go that crazy. The only difference is some 5-stars do have like different values. So like it might take a million. Sorry, it might take 1 million in order to get like Artoria to bond 10, and it might take like 1.1 million to get Lartoria to bond 10. There is some slight variance, but ultimately at the end of the day, like especially when you start looking at how much you need for a bond grail, chat, like how much bond remains, it's 1 million to bond 10. It's 1 million from 10 to 11. Like, it's you leveling the unit to bond 10 again. So it really does end up equaling out quite a bit. Dad needs more Saint Quartz? Yeah. But no, and like I said, the fact that you guys know that JP is about to just hand you like 40 of those things, I'm gonna tell you right now, like, stop buying them if you already have, like, chat, let's say you're sitting on, like, I don't know, like, anywhere from, like, 5 to 10 bond grails, stop buying them. This is enough. I'm dead serious. Because you do occasionally get a free bond grail, and this will tide you over through the next year to get all of your needs done, plus the free ones, to get to that point where JP hands them out to you. And once they hand them out, you don't have to buy them at all anymore for a long time, because you ain't going through 40 bond grails that fast. What about 1 to 4 Bond Grail? Still worth buying? I think there's a little bit more of a, like, do you actually need them, right? So, like, if you're a newer player, no, because you probably don't need them. Like, you might want to have one on hand, but remember, you usually get a Bond Grail for free. I think it's every New Year's, which we are coming up on. And then occasionally an event will give one out. So look at your units, try to determine how much you need. So, like, the easy one is, hey, in here, I can probably sit here and go, like for instance, okay, my Herc is Bond 10. My Asclepius is Bond 10. My Gareth is Bond 10. Should I Bond Grail any of these units? No. And here's why. I don't use them enough to warrant the Bond Grail. Like, putting a Bond Grail on Herc when I might use him like 2 times over the next year means, oh no, I've just missed like 5,000 Bond. Versus putting a Bond Grail on like Koyanskaya, yeah, I'm missing millions. Like, if I don't put that Bond Grail on the meta support, I'm gonna lose a lot, right? Just buy the lures. Really, lures will always be worth. Yeah, lures have never not been worth, and yet I've seen people always argue against them. And here's the wild part, okay? Chat, they give you like 40 Bond Grails. They also give you like 50 freaking crystallized lures. And you know what? That still ain't enough. You still need more. You still need a shit ton of crystallized lures because you can always use more lures. Always. More lures is more of your skills lowered to 10, more of your charge skills, more of your defense skills, lowering their cooldown, upping the amount of steroids. Again, also like maxing out a mana loading for an append here and there. So trust me when I say this, the crystallized lures do have a lot of value. There is no way to get more of them. And it's the same thing with a Bond Grail. You could sit there and say, well, there's no way to get more of them. But here's the other crazy part, chat. And I'm going to show this to you right now, because y'all see that I'm running a node with a certain unit on JP. Oh, this is filtered. Here we go. So, I'm running the node with my Castoria. A little bit of a problem here. I'm not getting any more Bond with her. And I'm not for a long time. Because the devs even came out and said in the most recent Annie 8 interview, they're not increasing bonding anytime soon. You're not getting another rank. So, yeah, they don't want Bond 20 right now. So at the end of the day, it's like, if you overstock on Bond Grails, it's your own fault, right? Like, you're going to end up with units at cap. It's not going to stop you from using them, hopefully. If it does, then you're in major trouble. But got to go use my subpar supports instead of meta. That's what they want you to do. It's more like they want you to roll other supports. I think Castoria is quite literally why they do not want Bond 20. They, I think, see Castoria and Oberon and some of these like crazy supports as a problem, and they want to stop it as much as they can. The problem is, one, not increasing bond levels is only going to piss players off as they start going, hey, why can't I bond efficiently with this unit? Two, it's basically just going to cause some people to end up quitting out of lack of desire to work on or level other units, as they just go, well, I'm finished with my favorite, what do I care, right? Like, when your waifu is at bond 15, you're either not going to use them and get angry about the fact that it's not bond efficient to keep using them, or you're going to just keep using them and not give a fuck. And I think the devs are basically just trying to hinge on that latter one, but they really just ultimately want you to roll. They want more gacha, they want more money, and they think that if they can get you to do that, that's their idea. So, go to Grail Live Summer Halloween Christmas event, yes. They will sooner release another Castoria or better than increase bond cap. Yeah, I don't think you're going to see another Castoria in that regard. You already got her summer form. I don't think you're going to see, like, you know, Castoria 2.0. Sacrifice 3 turn for bond efficiency? Never. I mean, I'll do that, but it's less that I'll do that for bond efficiency and more that I'm doing that for, what the heck was that? For CE efficiency in an event, which is basically drop efficiency. So I'll do it for drop efficiency. I try to be as bond efficient as possible, so if I can make a comp work without Castoria, I will. I will try to make a comp work without her. But I will not shoot myself in the foot if she is, like, my only good solution for that. If that makes any sense. I'm doing well, Emperor. Wouldn't be surprised Lasingle held back Bond 20 for years. They never fixed Bond Cs. Why not fix Bond? I mean, they've said they want to fix Bond Cs, and they're trying to, like, promote you getting more units to Bond 10, which I think is part of that process. They want you not just focusing on certain units and collecting. And I get that. The problem at play is if you give the people, and I'm gonna say this is why I think they have a wrong, incorrect, and dumb approach, okay? If you let people continue to use the units that they love, they will continue to enjoy the game and be hooked on the game. The more they enjoy the game, the more they are hooked on the game, the more likely they are to spend more money on it, to try and acquire more things in it, and to basically just invite their friends to come play with them. Meanwhile, the more you clamp down on Bond, the less you want people using their favorites, the less likely people are to enjoy the game, the less likely they are to continue to enjoy it and have a good experience and keep spending money, and the less likely they are to recommend it to their friends. It all impacts it. It's not one thing that's going to make someone quit a game or start to play a game. It's the complete overall perception and everything like that. But this is just yet another thing that could easily be the final straw that breaks the camel's back, where somebody else already had gripes, and then that kind of gets them to go like, oh, well, they don't even want me using my favorite units anymore. So, like I said, I don't think it's a good approach by them. They say they want to fix Bond Cs, but I don't see them actually doing anything to make Bond Cs more usable. That's because they haven't yet. They've said they want to fix them, and I think they've said that that plan for whatever it is in the works, but that it's not ready yet. So, like, the idea here, Chad, is to understand, too, that when they're talking about stuff, they're talking about upcoming stuff sometimes. But, yeah, I think where we can get at least a little bit upset about them is when they say they're not going to do things, or that, like, something is way far off and they're not looking, you know, to do it anytime soon. That becomes a problem at that point. They also said they want to do an event where using Bond Cs matter. I mean, they kind of already did. God, what was it? What was it where we had, I feel like we had Bond bonus again in something, and I'm trying to remember what it was. I don't know. It's escaping my brain. Monetizing Bond 16 would be crazy. Was it LB7? Might have been, but I feel like it was something else. $3.99 plus tax for Bond 16 unlocked? Dude, that'd be the biggest waste in the world, though. Like, let me say this. All right, cool. Make it $39.99 for that. You know what? I'll buy it. Only if the amount of quartz that it rewards is an entire max pack. I better get 160 fucking 7 quartz out of that and basically end up where it's like, oh, that's the equivalent of you just bought a pack at half price. Right? Like, because otherwise I ain't touching that. Like there has to be a huge reward for it. Or St. Quartz and a Brapple. Yeah, that would not go over well. What would you say are the best Bond Cs, Herc excluded? Georgios is probably your next contender, and then a lot of your meta supports have good ones. So like Tamamo, Castoria, Waver, heck, even Merlin at times. Scotty, obviously, for hers. Which I don't remember Summer Scotty's off the top of my head. Kuro Summer. I'd have to look at hers again, too. S3 is 10% arts, so the party is actually kind of crazy. Hers isn't arts, is it? I thought hers was in P-Gain. I'd have to remember. Nira Brides also has a good one, right? Like, so those are usually good. Most damage dealers, most like devoted damage dealers don't have a good craft essence. It's usually challenge units and supports that do. And part of the reason for that is because I did it again. Well, this will be fun. I probably will not clear this in a good amount of turns. 10% attack and 10% in P gain. Thank you. Yeah, I was gonna say I could have sworn it was in P gain, but at least now I know I'm not the crazy one. Increase all allies' critical damage with Buster cards by 30% while she's on the field for Summer Scotty. Yeah, the fact that it's Buster is dumb. I don't like that. I'm sorry. It feels to me like they keep attempting to neuter quick. And perhaps one day we get an explanation for that, but that day is not today. Achilles has a pretty cool Bonsi. Achilles is a unit that I would say is definitely a challenge unit, though, too. So, like, Achilles, if you've ever seen him, people have used him in, like, min turns and stuff, because he actually has really good card performance. And he does have, basically, his hard survival skill as well, so. Plus a multi-turn steroid. All of that's really nice. No. I think I'm screwed. Press the wrong skill there. I don't know why I'm having such a huge issue. Yeah, I was thinking of appends and wondered, what do you think of an append skill that reduces a unit's party cost? The problem would be, what would the ramification be when you start getting that on a lot of people? Because remember, the whole issue at play, and I'm going to tell you guys this right now. Every player in the game wants the party cost to go down on all of their units, on all of their Cs. Every dev in the game wants the party cost to go up. They don't want you running that, and here's why, okay? They don't want you running all 5-star units with all 5-star CEs. Because if you can do this, you're not ever going to use the low-star stuff. They need to give the low-star stuff a reason to exist. So that is kind of why they basically go, okay, no, as long as we restrict party cost, you can't do everything with that. It's the same concept they use in Grailfronts, only Grailfronts are somewhat magnified. But the idea is to make it so that you cannot just completely wail out, pay to win your way through everything. You have to come up with some sort of party cost, some sort of scheme. And it also is what makes it have an actual strategy to team building and stuff like that. So one of my most requested and questioned things on the channel throughout all of my time and all of my years is, Kat, how do you build a proper like scheme for something? And that's kind of why. A lot of people don't have that skill. A lot of people don't have enough knowledge of the units to be able to figure it out. But that's why they're never gonna give that to you. And their compromise is that ever so slightly they keep increasing your party cost as a player. Like, you basically get +1 every 10 master levels. Which is, chat, this is basically like saying you get +1 every, like, 2 years in the game. It's fucking wild. That is a long period in time for them to be trickling stuff to us. I will do that. 114 and 115 are pretty nice. Yeah, they are. But that's why you're not seeing like higher stuff. Then they made 90++. Yeah, I like I said, I think 90++ was a mistake. I'm dead serious. I think if you go back in time, you can actually sit there and you can say, where they low-key screwed up in a couple points. We can look at like someone like Merlin and say Merlin was kind of a mess up because then they had to do break bars, but I don't think that was a huge issue in the end. I think that kind of worked because gave them a gimmick for all of Epic of Remnant, and then basically that gimmick has also lasted into Lost Belt. Okay. So to me, I've seen some people say the issue lies with Castoria. I actually don't think it does. I think Castoria is a very nice quality of life solution for a lot of challenge content where sort of your high-end challenge people don't like Castoria because she makes things too easy for your average player. But your average player loves Castoria because she makes things manageable for them, where they maybe didn't have the expertise or the thought process to big brain their way through everything. Okay? So to me, they actually screw up is Oberon. And here's why. Oberon means everything now equals NP1. You only need NP1 for everything in the game. And they went, oh, fuck, we shouldn't have done that. And then they kind of looked at what they had created, they gazed upon it and realized, oh shit, there goes the neighborhood. And they decided to make 90 plus. And the problem with 90 plus is 90 plus is actually not more efficient than 90 plus. So when you started looking at 90 versus 90 plus, 90 plus had a couple of advantages. Had a slightly higher CE rate. It had the ability to drop all shop mats, which is really the real reason to run it, okay? And so, comparatively, we could easily just point to 90 plus and say, there is an advantage here, do it. 90 plus versus 90 plus does not have that same advantage. The differences are minimal, and usually it boils down to a question of, can you 6-slot something? If you can 6-slot the 90 plus, 90 plus is better. But it is so whaley to be able to do that due to how much they have increased the health values on plus that it's just not a thing unless, again, you have a very robust account with very high MP levels. As a result, you're pretty much looking at 5-slotting the 90 plus. And I've seen people say that this is a good reason to do it, is to give like the whales and stuff something to do. They're not entirely wrong, and that is what their goal was. Their goal was to give you an incentive to roll extra NP levels, because so much of their system now hinges upon this. For a while, this was actually the good part about FGO, is that you did not have to roll extra NP levels, and everyone loved it for that. The game was actually incredibly free-to-play friendly, despite every free-to-play and their brother hating and criticizing the game because they couldn't get what they wanted from the gacha. It was more of an issue of, as we talked about yesterday, willpower and the ability to save. So FGO had long been pretty good on its MP levels, and the only issues were in lottos where you would occasionally need higher. Now we have 90 plus content, and the issue at play is, do you have the bonus unit? If not, does the 90 plus node have a damage CE? And if not, do you have NP5 of some fucking meta-ass damage dealer that is brand spanking new and just completely raffle stomps the game? If the answer to that is yes, you could probably 6-slot it. If the answer to that, to all three of those questions is no, you are doing 90 plus instead. Because there's no statistical difference. In fact, 90 plus may be better in those circumstances. So, at that point, that's why I say there's kind of a mistake there, is how I think they've designed the content is they did not make 90 plus appreciably better. And as a result, I think the attitude is finally beginning to shift, where a lot of people are just going, I don't care about 90 plus. I'm just doing 90 plus. Which is wild and terrible and bad if you're a developer, because that means your entire player base is going, I don't care about that new shiny thing and obstacle that you put in front of us. Which is how people are treating the coin system, and that's how people are also treating the ordeal call class score system. Interesting that both of these are CS. So I think the devs have a problem because they haven't fixed the coin system. No one wants to embark upon it. Because they haven't fixed that, nobody wants to embark upon the class score system. And because they haven't fixed the class score system, as a result of that, thus nobody really wants to do 90++. Nobody actually wants to have to invest all of these materials. And people are just kind of sitting there coasting, doing 90+, and saying, fuck that shit, I'll run 90++ one time. And get the clear bonus, and that's it. 36 years of Khadroth, thank you. Appreciate it, Elo. How you doing today? The treadmill is disappearing and now the devs freak out. But the devs are the ones that wreck their own treadmill. Because here's why, okay? If your treadmill, and think about it this way. So when you have a treadmill, you have a person who runs on the treadmill, okay? Okay, chat, that's you, right there, okay? You're on the treadmill. Here comes their new thing. You don't care and step right over it. And why? Because you realize that this has a monetary attachment to it. The treadmill was no longer a treadmill that could be completed for free. That's the coin system. And that's where they fucked up. The coin system has caused this massive chain reaction. Like I said, they haven't fixed coins. And so because they haven't fixed coins, nobody wants to do class score. Because they haven't fixed class score, no one wants to do basically, well, sorry, I say fixed class score. It's not fixed class score, right? They haven't fixed coins, so no one wants to do class score. Because no one's doing class score, no one is doing storm pods. Because no one is doing storm pods, no one is popping apples like the devs want you to in the middle of an event. And because no one's popping apples in the middle of an event, they're just phoning it in. People are just playing for like 1 week at a time and then logging out for the next 2 weeks, logging in only to collect their login bonus and basically get whatever they need out of the actual event. Basically just spending their nat AP and not giving a fuck. And it all stems from that original decision to basically make the coin system have a whaley aspect to it. You can do a lot with the coin system in spite of the need to roll more copies to get more coins. But a lot of people will fundamentally reach a point where they'll either hit burnout and decide that this system is fucked and they don't care about it, or they'll reach a point where they just kind of say, I've done most of what I can do and I'm not paying more money into this system. They promised us a coin fix. They said they knew of the issue. They agreed with the player base. And because they still haven't fixed it, it is causing this chain reaction of sort of malaise within the community. That people just don't care about any of the other stuff that they keep throwing in front of them. I have so many apples, yeah. Players are saving apples for a lotto. Yeah, I completely agree. And then the hope is that eventually they do the lotto. They collect the materials from the lotto. They catch up. And then once they're caught up, they're done. And they put the game on like slow-mo until some new hurdle comes their way that they want to do. And the problem is the hurdles that are there right now, they don't want to do. Forcing devs to fix coins. Players are sticking to their guns, which I like. Yeah, and I've talked about this before. It's like, Chad, if you want the devs to fix coins, stop rolling for NP6. The devs are going to keep not fixing coins as long as they can make more money off of this. It's when they start going, oh shit, we can't make money off of this, that they'll finally fix it. Yeah, I know not everyone does, right? But there are definitely people out there who do. I myself have rolled in P6. Like I said, the one time I did it, I regretted it. I never want to do that shit ever again. And I feel like most people should not feel that pressure to do so. Okay? Do that. And P6 is the worst use of money. Yeah, there's really no point to it. Like in most cases, people do it for completion, and they do it for bragging rights, they do it for EPing, but that third append for most of their units is terrible. So. Looks at NP8 Oberon. Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking about the times where, like, I was going for something else and ended up with higher NP levels of a unit. Okay, I'm talking about like where you were done and you specifically said, you know what, I'm rolling that extra copy for coins. That is something that you should not do. People I've seen talk about doing 90++ for the extra bond alone. Yeah, there are some crazy people out there. Don't aspire to be them. And I'm dead serious. Like I'm someone, chat, that in the past I used to really roll within a lot of like whale circles where like, and I've talked about this before. So the concept of, hey, I need to max level this craft essence, and I'll give you guys an example. So it's like, oh man, Chaldea lunchtime? Yeah, I need to level 100 that. Why? So that it'll appear at the top of a list. And when it appears at the top of the list, that'll get me more FP. The thing about that is, while this is true, you had to spend FP to get that thing to level 100 that you otherwise would not have leveled to 100. So you were spending FP to make more FP. The issue is, the amount you were spending to level 100 a craft essence is not equal to the amount of extra FP you were getting from that craft essence being leveled higher. Because it's not how much FP you were getting from the craft essence. It's how much extra you were getting for having leveled it up more. It doesn't pay off, right? Like, so I've seen people have some really weird takes, and the entire logic behind that is just, it's EPing. That's really all it is. They want to be able to say that they have more level 100 shit. They want to be able to flex how much FP they have. Kind of ass backward thinking is that? That's like hyper whale type stuff where you're like, you are so deep, like you roll everything, you have all units, you're trying to level everything all the way up to max. You're just trying to like min-max your entire account type thing. I maxed it to appear at the top of my C sorting list. We are not the same. You're right. Because what you did, Strom, is even dumber, since there's actually just select sort. You could have just put it in select sort and it would have just appeared there anyway. God damn it, Strom! Not worth it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna get on to anyone that leveled a craft essence like that. It's just, that's usually the level of like circular logic that a lot of those people go through. So it's like, yeah, you'll see someone that'll be like, oh man, I'm doing this for bond, and it's like, okay, chat, I'm about to blow your mind right now. These are coming from the same people, right? Oh, they're doing it for more bond. This same person will also just flat out pop quartz for more bond. Why are you farming bond again? Yep. Like I said, I don't pop quartz to farm bond. I pop quartz to farm materials so I can finish my units. If people farm it just for the bond and they're willing to like blow apples and blow quartz for that shit, they're literally costing themselves. If vulnerable people didn't fall for it, we wouldn't see it, unfortunately, but it's fair game in a capitalist world. It is, yeah. But that is ultimately what's going on with that, right? They farm bond to have higher bond levels because they like having stuff at bond 10. I mean, maybe, right? I've definitely heard of different things. And chat, I want to be clear here. If you're feeling defensive over what I just said, don't be if you're not the person that's just, hey, I'm just trying to bond stuff up, right? We're not talking about your average player just trying to be bond efficient and get more quartz. We're talking about your whale that's like, I'm going to do extra runs of this node for more bond. Which is like, but why? Like, it defeats the entire point, right? A bond for coins. That at least would be a better reason, right? But in that regard, like most of the time, so like let's say we're talking about NP1 of a 5-star, right? You want, you know, enough coins to get your append unlocked. You want to be able to get mana loading. Well, all you need is bond 6. Like it's not like you're having to go crazy for that or something, right? Like, I can backline bond that all day. We aren't talking about your average Saiyan here, yes. Talking about a Super Saiyan. Whales can do what they want. They can. And that's the whole point. Where I actually became popular in the FGO directory, right, chat, was from being a whale that could talk to free-to-plays. Because there were, at the time that I started, so many other content creators out there that were also whales. The issue with that, though, was they just ran about flexing their whale status and had no idea how to talk to a free-to-play about how the free-to-play should be playing the game. They'd be like, oh yeah, just, bro, you need more resources? Oh, bro, just pop quartz. Like just go in, just farm 500 boxes in the lotto. That's easy, right? Like, no, the free-to-play doesn't want to hear that. That's not applicable to them, and it doesn't help them, right? Like, whales and free-to-plays live in two different worlds, two different styles of playing the game. Whereas in a whale, you might have, sorry, in a free-to-play, you're going to entirely have, like, AP efficiency. That's what you strive for, okay? You want your AP to be as efficient as possible. Whales might care about AP efficiency. I'm one that does. Other whales just only care about time efficiency. Like, their resources are infinite. Only time is the issue, and therefore they go as fast as they can. So it's like, this is a completely different concept than what a free-to-play would ever try to do, right? It's the concept of, well, I know the AP that I'm spending right now is inefficient, but I get the task done faster. The free-to-play is never going to do that, because the free-to-play just goes, well, I only have so much AP anyways, and I have to get this done. So I'm going to do it as efficiently as possible. So that's what I'm saying. That's how I became popular, was being able to say, hey, look, that's a whale strat. Don't do that. Here's what you should be doing. And it's kind of interesting to see that, like, you know, over the years, I've seen people really hype this up. I remember back when I first started making the lotto guides, I had other people out there that were trying to say, like, no, don't do like those guides and stuff like that. Don't do CAD strats. You guys need to be running this super fast strat. And it's like, yeah, you might clear faster. That's less efficient. Like, that's the whole point. When you're a free-to-play and you have like 100 apples, your resources are limited. You're only going to do those 100 apples in the lotto. You're going to get it done, and you're going to get what you can get out of it. So you need to make every single one of those apples count. When you're a whale and you're going to be popping quartz, you don't care. You are just going to go with speed because you have the ability to keep multiplying your apples. You're just spending money on the game. That is something that other people won't do, right? Part of me wonders if they just want welfare coins when they said coin problem, because that would be ultra disappointing. No, because the context when they were talking about it in the interview was that they literally said that they know they didn't give out enough coins for each copy, right? And at the time, they already were giving out coins for welfares. And the amount of coins they gave out for welfare was enough. It was 660, which is the exact amount plus bond that you need to be able to get all of Europens. Well, sorry. It was like 480 is, I think, the amount. 660 is the max amount. But it was this, yeah. Wait, was it 440? I don't know. Like, because I think you get 180. What's 660 minus 180, Chad? Is it 480? Yeah, I think it is. So I think it is 480 is the amount that they give out in an event. And basically, that's the amount plus bond that you would need in order to get, you know, everything done, level 120, all the pens unlocked, right? So they know they were giving out enough coins with welfares, period. They definitely had some welfares that didn't have coins. That was an issue. But when they talked about it, you could tell they knew it was a problem. And, you know, admittedly, from the language, from what I could tell from Trubs' translation, and I talked to Trubs a lot about it, to me, it seemed a lot like Mr. 2 acknowledged it. right? So I don't know if something changed behind the scenes, or they just, they pushed it out of sight, out of mind, or it's just not high on their priority list to fix because they're making money from it. I'm not going to try to excuse it or explain it. I don't know. It's just all them. Societal equal whale. A whale for the people? Yeah. I feel like unless you're a content creator that needs to use AP to keep the stream running, or a whale that needs a ton of mats, you will never run out of apples to get to use. You'll never run out of apples to use to get the amount of mats or experience or QP you ever need. Well, let me break that down for each one, right? Unless you're a content creator. So if you're a content creator that needs to pop apples to extend stream, what's your content? Because, like, chat, I've talked with you guys about this before. This is what I've said. Like, even when I'm doing variety content, y'all can come talk to me about anything, including FGO. Because, here's another mind-blowing thing for you, chat. FGO is a just chatting stream. What you see on the screen is not that entertaining 90% of the time. Like, you've already seen it, right? Once you've seen me do a run, you've already seen it 100 times, right? So, like I said, if a content creator is having to pop apples to extend the stream itself, that content creator needs to really be questioning why they're doing it. Like, it's fine if they're grinding in an event like a raid or a lotto or something like that. That's a different story. But, like, if they're just popping apples just to keep the stream going, nah, they shouldn't be doing that. Or a whale that needs a ton of mats. Yeah, and I've talked about this before. The more units you have, the more materials you need. Okay, and so free-to-plays often don't need as much materials. That being said, free-to-plays also can't farm as much. So everything kind of scales to your level of, like, whalishness. And in that regard, the game is pretty geniusly designed, because it's done in such a way that, like, free-to-plays and whales can largely, end at the same time. I think the issue there, though, is that with a whale, they basically might have far more robust plans, and when they're done, they're done. Versus a free-to-play, if they finish what they have, they could, in theory, just start working on other stuff. So, it just depends. But if you're saying you'll never run out of apples to get the amount of materials, experience, or QP you need, you definitely can. But the game is pretty good about that now. I think the game is fairly generous with regards to its apples and such. Especially now that blue apples exist, which, chat, again, that's basically what led to yet another issue, right? Like, it's pretty much the class scoring coin system combined with the blue apple issue is what is causing storm pods to be a, like, negatively perceived thing right now in the community. I think Mr. 2 slipped saying it was a problem. I don't think he slipped. I think he was correct. I just think they either changed their mind behind the scenes or, like, devalued it for the time being. Yeah, I think too, at the same time, Coda, like, Mr. 2 knew he needed to address it. Because, like, it had been a year. Everyone was complaining about it. It was one of the most complained about things in the survey. It's just a thing, right? Like, so I think he knew he needed to address the topic, especially since it was that anniversary. And so I don't know if you guys remember this, right? But, like, the interview for Annie 7 was likely done before the stream. However, Mr. 2 felt the need to address it in the interview, which is wild then, because on the stream, and so it was done before the stream, but it didn't come out until after the stream, right? This is when the interview went public, basically. But during the actual live stream, the Japanese community, not the American in a English-speaking community, the Japanese community was chanting and filling the entire chat with coins, 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 coins. So, like, Mr. 2 clearly had his finger on the pulse for that one. He knew. Because, like I said, he did the interview before the live stream was even a thing. He already knew it was a hot button issue. And, man, that live stream definitely revealed that it was. And it's been a thing for each anniversary, right? Like, I'm going to tell you, the community's not going to forget it. Whether or not they do something else remains to be seen. But you know how messed up when you get the Japanese angry? Yeah. And like I said, I think the only way they survive that is if the Japanese people reach the point of apathy. And if they reach the point of apathy, that means they don't care about the game anymore, which is not a good thing, right? Like, they do need to fix the coin issue. It's going to just keep getting worse. It's going to have a more and more negative impact on their game. And that's why I want them to fix it, right? Like, I have my own stake in the argument where I want it to be fixed for various reasons, but, like, at the end of the day, I can check all of that at the door and go completely selfless and say, I hope the devs fix it for their own sake. I don't think it's making them that much more money anymore, and I think it's actively causing people to get angry at them from time to time. Hold on. Any tips for how to roll 13 million FP points on an event without feeling the need to end myself? Nope. Come for the Khadroth, stay for the Khadroth. Thank you. Storm pod should only cost 20 AP. Listen, we can get into how to fix storm pods. It's probably a video at some point, but, like, I've already talked about it. They know. They're not idiots. They did it on purpose. Weren't the Japanese bitching about dead months? The Japanese were bitching quite a bit during January, and that actually caused the developers to come out and publicly apologize for it. Now, part of that, though, is because the developers had delays, and the result of that, chat, is that you no longer have a date for your next story chapter release. You remember how we used to, like, hear, like, oh, you're getting LB6 like mid-year next year, or like, oh man, you're getting like LB3 by the end of the year. You don't get that anymore with Ordeal Call. They stopped telling you the date that it's going to come out. Like you never had a hard date, but you did have a, like, you know, end of the year or December type thing would be like what they would tell you. So the fact that you don't have dates anymore is entirely because of that. And I think it's because they don't want to tell you a date and then have the negative publicity and fallout of missing that date. So they're only going to tell you when they know. And to be clear, chat, there was a recent interview. They asked Nasu, when is Ordeal Call 2 coming? And he said, please be patient. That was his response. He did not give you anything. He just said, please be patient. So I think you guys can kind of just expect that that is going to be the way that we proceed from here on out. Non-answer? Yes. 100%. He's not saying it's coming soon. He's not even saying anything about it. He's just telling you, calm down. Do you still burn 1 to 2 star Cs? No. No, you should never burn a single craft essence. Craft essences should always be fed. If you were to burn all of your 1-star Cs, you would lose out so much on experience over the years. They released LB7 Part 2 1 hour before the end of January. They talked about that. They said that the Part 2 was delayed because of a bug and that it almost didn't actually launch. Like, they finally got the okay to push it live, and then when they were getting ready to push it live, they realized that the bug still wasn't fixed. And then they were like, oh no, we're gonna have to pull it back, and thankfully it was fixed right then. Pro Neketsu, thank you for the follow. 6.5 should be in June. Yeah, I mean, like, NA will have the benefit of clairvoyance for that, but, like, JP does not know when its next story chapter is. Merlin or Waver better for a Keth's party? Waver better for a Keth's party. Merlin. Like, unless you're trying to like 3-turn or something like that, it's Merlin. Merlin gives more crit damage, Merlin gives Buster Up, Merlin gives party-wide protection, Merlin gives his NP, which heals and tops people off and gives stars. And the Rider will soak the stars over the caster, so. Q&A must have been sweating bullets during that LB7 fiasco. Oh, they were. So they were working on LB7 during the live stream. The Singularity was done. They had bugs that they were working on, but yes, it was getting worked on during the live stream. That's why, if you guys remember, the live stream itself was delayed, and that's where they finally got the call to be like, oh, okay, it's good to do the live stream, and then they realized the bug still wasn't fixed while they were on the live stream, which caused them to be like, oh shit. Seems like it's rough developing content for the game. It seems like it's getting more rough, and I think it's because they're trying to do more robust stuff. They really talked about that in the anniversary interview this year, that a lot of it was like, hey, we wanted to do like the 3D map for LB7. We wanted to like kind of pull out all the stops and stuff, and I think that's sort of their issue, is like they are trying to make the game more robust, and they're doing it, but they're doing it in such weird ways that like no one had ever done that before. And it's like they're just up against the gun, and they don't have enough devs to actually push stuff out. I'm not sure why I'm still making C bombs. Not like I'm planning on leveling more Cs. Yeah, that's kind of the issue I've run into. But newer player just stumbled across your channel. Do you know if there's a decent new player progression guide anywhere? Yes. Also, who's the girl in the YouTube stream thumbnail? The girl in the YouTube stream thumbnail is Aurelia, my OC. Yeah, I was gonna say I have a very thorough guide. The guide does need to be updated for certain things that have happened on JP's side of things, but rest assured they're not going to impact you for a long time on NA, so you're good. Is it safe to just roll FP now? Yes, 100%. And yeah, if you have any questions, Tro, just let me know. Or, I guess not Tro, it's true, isn't it? Yeah. I'm saying it wrong. Give the dude the dock, yes. Spending FP more for coins, but might as well make CE bombs along the way. Yep. Yeah, and if you guys can store, like, CE for CE bombs, that also helps you, but, you know, with how much FP some people have, they're not going to be able to store that many. So it is what it is. It's Treo. Okay. But Tree is what people call me? Yeah, I mean, like, just let me know if I ever pronounce your name wrong. I will apologize in advance, because I will probably announce it or pronounce it wrong several times. So usually it takes me several times to get it right for some people. Okay, looks like that was enough. Is there any way to check coin inventory? Totals? No, but you can see how much you have for each servant. That's in your My Room section. It wants to load. Is it material servant? Yeah, servant coin inventory. Is there anything LaSingle can do to make Road to 7 better on NA? Yeah. Yeah, there's no doubt that they can make it better. It cannot get worse than it was on JP. It's a hard X like oxen. Oh, I see. Yeah, I read it like Cajun. Like French, right? Like JP is the beta server. JP's not beta. It does things. Any reason you don't have YouTube donation super chat on? I actually have to enable it, Kim. I was actually looking at like what's required for YouTube membership today. because I'm qualified for everything. I've been a YouTube partner for years now at this point. The problem is going through and setting it up, and what always stops me is I try to do memberships first, and the way YouTube memberships work is it's kind of like subbing on Twitch. The only problem is that what it's most similar to isn't subbing on Twitch, it's most similar to Patreon tiers. So like YouTube tries to tell you that you have to have like tangible benefits and shit, and I'm like, bro. Whereas I'm just like, okay, isn't like you being able to use the emotes and stuff a tangible benefit? I don't know. Like, so they want me to like come up with things and then they'll approve whatever I do, and so like that always just makes me sit there for like hours staring at it and trying to think about what to do. So I probably just need to set up the other stuff first and then come back to that. Are you ready for another nerfed GSSR on JP? Wait, so why did people think this this last one was nerfed? Just because it didn't have Beast Dumu? I'm still not used to the whole multi-stream thing. I'm not used to it either, but like it's difficult on me to pay attention to both chats, but rest assured, YouTube people, if I don't see your comment right away, I will eventually look over and see it. And part of the reason I don't look over is because there's not that many of you talking over there, as opposed to Twitch, where there's so many more of you talking depending on the subject matter. So, like, the more active chat's gonna get the more active attention, usually. There's so few Cs I care to level anymore. Black Grail and K-Scope leveled, yeah. Coin sort by held doesn't work on a pinned skill enhancement menu. Yeah, they could definitely do a lot better with the coin sorting, especially like when we get Grail casting in the future. I really want them to add filters for it, but they haven't. Make some custom emotes and call it a day for membership. I have emotes. Like, I'm sure chat over here on the Twitch side of things can spam them. I have way too many emotes, in fact. But yeah, it's like, it's kind of nutty because like YouTube wants you to have more than just the emotes. The way they list things out, the emotes are not a benefit. And I'm like, that's so dumb. I don't get that. I'm just lurking, need background noise while I work, but I love listening to you. I appreciate it, Pip. Look at me, I want attention? No. Cat needs to evolve into Orthus and have two heads? Yes, you're right. I mean, it would be a lot easier if I could combine the chat. I do know there are some chat tools. I did go back the other day and read the fine print on it. I'm allowed to combine chat, just not on screen. So, like, for my purposes, I could combine it in, like, one chat if I can find the right tool for it. And I do know there are some out there, but, like, some of them are weird, and I'd have to, like, get them set up. Like, I can't think of the name anymore, but... People called the last GSSR and JP nerfed because your 1 to 4 servants were removed from it. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking it was because of the Beast Dumu not being on it. It is what it is. I think they want to make the year 1 through 4 servants a little bit rarer now, so that way there is some more like FOMO and stuff like that. But I don't know that they necessarily have to. You just have them as tabs squashed into a corner, but it's annoying if you got a tab out. Oh, that's basically what I do. Like, chat, I have Twitch chat here, and I could have it there, but I don't. I have YouTube chat here. Right here. So, like, it's really close to where I'm looking at the screen for doing stuff. I can still see it really easily. But, it is not, like, easy to have to read multiple chat streams. Hello, Zelfer. That is, they don't want people to remember the year 1 through 4 servants, so they don't get pressed as much to buff them to match modern servants. That won't matter. I'm gonna say this right now, like, my take on this has and always will be that, like, essentially, if they neglect the original units that made this game famous, they are doing themselves a disservice. They're not screwing the players, they're screwing themselves. Because the example I gave you, right? Like, you look at year 7. We were just talking about this earlier. There were 0 saber faces in year 7. So, if they went into year 8 and they did no more saber faces, what reason does the saber face guy have to roll anymore? Right? Like, when they never run another Ren face, when they never run another Sakura face, when they never, like, they have to realize that these units are special and essentially prop up the IP, and that's why people really, like, will always care for them and always like them and always want them. So they can keep trying to tell FGO stories about FGO units that are unique to FGO, but if they never hit that nostalgia, they're just not converting money that they could easily do. Like, you can't make everything a nostalgia trip, but the fact that they, like, just blatantly ignore their OGs for some time is just wild to me. Not putting YouTube chat is a great compromise to stream on both. Yeah, you're not allowed to combine your chats on screen is the issue. And I don't really have room to do both. So. Where are Rin faces? Was Spishtar the last one? Yes. Nasu and Takeuchi want to make stories about new pickup servants or themes. They frequently show up for an event and then get hardly used or rarely used again. I agree with that. Like, it didn't used to be that way, but it's becoming that way as they start pumping more and more new units into the game. But that's why I said, like, Chad, if you go all the way back to LB7, the best thing about LB7, without reading the story, without anything else, was just, and people will undervalue this. People will disagree with me on this. But the best thing was the fact that they just said, Nito alter. Because it was such a smart thing for them to go, boom, here is one of those original, like, year 1 units that everyone knows, everyone loves, and man, here's a sexy new design for her. That got people hype. That catapulted FGO back to #1. People were rolling like crazy. There was artwork like crazy of her. People that hadn't drawn FGO in years started drawing Nito. They don't get it, I don't think. Like, that was the nostalgia kick. Everyone loved it. They really need to fucking do that again. And it's easy. Like you guys are already saying, where's my next Erish? Do another Erish. That will immediately cause the exact same effect. Immediately. So we need a new Arturia. I mean, sure, right? You're never going to hear a complaint from me on that. You'll always hear complaints from people about the saber faces in general, but it is what it is. Prototype Gil when? Whenever Prototype actually gets a collab. Or they decide to involve it in story more. Have they ever completely remade or nerfed a servant? There has never been a nerf of a servant. There has been something close where, like, the version of Merlin that, like, is in the story is stronger than the version you get, which seemingly had people thinking that he got nerfed. That may or may not be true. But we'll never know because that original version of him never reached live, right? Yeah. You could also sit there and point to, like, a unit like Emiya Archer, who, by all accounts, people said that he probably was intended to be originally Arts instead of Buster. And, you know, again, he comes in as Buster, so we'll just have to see with regards to that as to what it is. But I think, like, the fact that they changed his third skill, it kind of showed you that he always had that capacity, but that it probably was too strong at the time that it came out. Speaking of new Tamamo and JP FGO, when it's almost been 2 years. You just had Koyanskaya involvement in the most recent event, though. Like, I'm never going to say no to another Tamamo tale, right? But, like, I do feel like the Tamamo fans always complain about them. Tamamo Area FGO edition, yeah. And, like, I think Area makes the like really easiest choice at this point, but in some ways units are definitely gimped. Yeah. So it's not that units ever get nerfed, it's that the content just scales exponentially because of the crazy like power creep of some of the newer units. So like they've started to try and balance the game around Oberon, right? Which when you compare to like, you know, a unit like Waver, it's like, well, that's not really fair. All right, chat. The challenge quest is Mao Nobu with Nobukatsu. When was the last time they did a hit count update? Oh, it's been a long time. I don't think since like year 1. I know they updated the hit counts. Maybe it was year 2. I know they updated the hit counts on Squirtoria. They updated them on Iskandar. They updated them on Surfmo. And actually, no, Squirtoria and Surfmo wasn't a hit count adjustment. It was an NP gain adjustment. And then Nero Bride, I think, was the last one. I think. Bride, yeah. There you go. Bride's hit count was for the love gimmick? Yeah. So, Bride's attacks, if you do her cards in a certain order, spell love. Like, literally, her saber slashes do that. Where she goes boom, 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 boom. It's really funny. Didn't Amakusa used to have a weird gimmick with his extra attack? Oh, they might have changed it. I don't remember his. I do remember that he did something for him, but I don't remember what it was. All right. I'm going to do this the easy way, chat. I'm not going to think. I'm going to turn my brain off, and I'm just going to shit on this. Yeah, it's fine. You want to kill Nobukatsu ASAP? Nah, it'll happen. Okay. Oh, you're going for Invincible? Yeah. Hmm. Okay, so we're gonna focus Nobukatsu because Nobukatsu does shit. You know what? Fuck it. Basically, I'm just trying to think about, on turn 3, he removes all my defense buffs. So it's like, I don't know that I necessarily want to go into the sequence. Oh my god, why didn't you break his bar? Will he still do it? Or did I need to kill him that turn? That's my question. What MP level Summer Kiara do I have? 3. So this removes his NP seal, and then fills his bar to full. Okay. So we're good? Question mark? I love how deranged his stuff is. So much for not wanting to think. I know. I would have had to think more about it, though. This is a comp I'm very familiar with. So the only thing that made me think there was Nobukatsu's order of operations. And now I'm good. Now the fun begins, chat. 4 left. No, I think I just turtle here. I think I turtle, remove a stack, and then next turn as a wash is I'll just have to card. But, like, the concept at play here is just that I need Castoria's protection at this point. I basically need to let Merlin get his cooldowns back and cleanse the burns and shit like that. So, I get no damage here, which is unfortunate, but it will suit me for the time being. I remember you, Khadroth, was struggling. Oh, really? This is basically the same comp I used last year on this. Well, now I'm glad that I protected everyone? Was that a... Why did she change the field of burning? Oh, if he's defeated first, removes the defense buff from I Am Nobunaga, Demon Keeping the Thing's Heaven. Resolve debuffs, changes field type to burning, and fully fills NP gauge. Okay. So she got to NP back-to-back there. That was a little spicy. We're gonna do it like that. Getting Merlin and Castoria to their NPs will be rather easy. It's gonna be more Kiara, especially once her stuff wears off. How many turns? Still one. Get it on cooldown. I really don't need to. So it's like I could do it again this turn, but there's just not much incentive to. Oh wait, we don't have Mighty Chain on an A. No. Every once in a while that gets me. Okay, now everything wears off and we do it again. Unfortunately, I lost the arts buff there, but it is what it is. I just watched your video about next Guda Guda. Will you make one about Nobu after the buff? Ooh, Mount Nobu? Yeah, I can do that. BB Summer should handle this, I think. The issue is just taking a Moon Cancer will be able to solve it. The problem would be, like, getting BB to get to her NPs. So it's like, you can do it if you can, like, card lock her. Especially if you can card lock a Brave Chain. Otherwise, you might have issues. Space, Parvati, and Saber Wars 3 win. You know, if they ever do a Saber Wars 3, it almost discernibly will be Sakura focused. Because the first one was Saber focused. The second one was Rin focused. So a Saber Wars 3 would have to be Sakura focused. At least I would think. Oh wait, that's one turn only, isn't it? Okay, no, sweet. I had a miniature freak out because I wanted that to get back on cooldown as well. And see, this is where Kiara's third skill really helps out, chat. Like, you can see, she doesn't have any of the protection, but she is dodging. So, Merlin and Castoria are okay, but let's assume instead that, like, maybe Kiara had all of her solemn defense decks, like Castoria didn't. This would dodge. It would be great. It would just, it would help out even more with kind of keeping them protected. So the only one that really, truly matters here is I gotta get Castoria to her NP for protection reasons. Because Mount Nobu can card you pretty hard, but... Alright, what's the first one? All allies critical rate by 30%, 5 turns removable. Oh, great. I really don't want to get hit right now. Okay. We're all safe for one more turn. Next turn is the turn that she NPs, or this turn. Just really depends on what she wants to do right now. To me, the play is actually to just keep charging Castoria. Because if she keeps hitting Castoria enough, it's actually possible to get Castoria to 200%, but I doubt it. Oh no, she has Burning Battlefield on a Burning Battlefield. Okay. And now we send it as everybody's buffs have worn off. Sad that I can't do the Brave chain there, but it'd be what it be. Saber Wars 3 is going to be Ilya focused. Please don't curse me like that. Please, Bobby, don't step on me with those huge crits of yours. Yes. Phil and Kaz are dropping Violet waiting room. Man, we are running behind today. I don't know if it was the discussions or me starting late or all of the above, but I don't know how much Samurai Remnant we're going to get tonight, chat. Mighty Chain, my kingdom for Mighty Chain? Yeah. She'll stack Burning Battlefield to flex her stack of battlefields? Goddamn. She's playing 5D Battlefield chess. I've heard of underwater basket weaving. I've never heard of on fire basket weaving. Time to use my AP. Yep. Okay. That's an easy one right there. We'll go ahead and throw that on her. We'll go ahead and give that to her. We'll do it like that. God, that's a nice crit. Hell yeah. I probably could have just sent that with the NP and that would have killed. And that is what I will do. Underwater reverse Celtic basket weaving? Yes, it has to be Celtic, I forgot. They might throw a curveball and just make Saber Wars 3 Shira focus. They could. Or they just might never give us Saber Wars 3. What's up, Squeege? How's it going? What you been up to lately? Kiara does have huge crits. She do. She do be like that. Kiara has got a servant for which story or event thing, but not divinity. Yeah, you can see, like, the only thing that caused me any issue there was like, is Nobukatsu gonna remove all my defensive buffs before he kills himself? That's it. That's the only thing I spent time thinking. Sometimes you just have to wonder how suicidal your enemy is. So there you go, chat. That's NA completely done at this point. Oh dear God, please do not pop an apple. Yeah, that's also true. I did level up on JP, so that caused me to have to spend extra time doing that. We've gotten everything out of the shop. We've built everything. There's literally nothing. So NA is kaput, done. All I have to do is keep collecting my various crap from around there. So feels good. Just double check JP here. Okay, so JP's regenerated some, but it is what it is. All right, so now we can talk about that one unit whose name I forget, from the land of Izumo. Why is Lancelot here? I don't know. No, I mean, yeah. Good night, Prophet. Okay, so... Actually, I haven't looked at her Ascension forms in a hot second. Yeah, each one... I do like that each one changes not only her... Wait. Okay, the first and the third are actually really samey. But the big thing that actually changes is the armor in the background, the big O. The puppet is 270 centimeters tall. That is oddly specific. And I am deeply terrified about you knowing that. I pixel measured. That is why I am very, 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 very afraid of you right now. Wait. Right. Wait. Hold on. MLB K-Scope? You can do better than that. Or can you? Wait, I'm all confused. Hold on. Yeah, you should be able to start from 60%. You could do Knights of Marines. Because she's 50% charger, so double Scotty Oberon, you brute force basically 220% of it with an append. The block 50 is killing it, yeah. Yeah, that's an issue. But I guess that's your best case. Who is the girl Cat is looking at? This? This is Okuni. Yeah, Summer Scott is going to help that out a lot. Still not though. Hitting that that 29% mark's really unobtainable. Like you gotta murder hobo something to get that. Hey Darty, thank you for the 58. How's it going, bud? Because Mafia is the VA of the bog, dude. Wait. You're that upset because it's Mafia as the voice of the thing in the background? Wait, okay, yeah, let me see how you're doing this one. Wait, why'd you do that? For the... Is block 50? Is that really why? Okay. Okay. Can already assume that. Yeah. Sorry, Avalon sent me a dissertation on this one, chat. You'll never guess why. God, Oberon just favors the Buster casters so much. You don't want to compare it to Medea? Do not get me started on the Medea topic again. Yeah, that's fine. No, I'm actually. Yeah, that's. No, Knights of Marines is 15. That becomes 30. So, your best comp isn't your best comp. Okay. I'm debating whether or not to roll her so I can say getting every single target caster in the game. I don't want to like poo-poo you at all, but like there's not that many single target casters. So it's one thing. Like I actually wish they would like do a little bit more with the single target casters. Okay, so with that in mind. Can't just type K-scope. That wouldn't find it. Yeah, what's our best 50% Quixie? I know we have traces, but traces is traces. Good game. Oh. Wait. No, I think I know which one I need. It's Carry Ice Clone. This one's not all attack. Yeah. Why? Why Delight works? Why do you hate Quick? Yeah, that makes her a little bit better. Why is she so hyper realistic? Oh, it's just the artist style. That's all they've done. Yeah, I was gonna say it's just how they chose to do it. She's actually not like hyper realistic in that regard. Like she is still very animated. This reminds me of more of a Western style, though, is all it is. It's less anime and more Western, where the eyes are not exaggerated. She actually has a visible nose, and the hands are made by AI. No, I'm just super long fingers. Yeah, it's just because she's like steepling them, kind of, right? And most of the time when you see a hand, you see it at an angle, so you don't see like the full length of a hand. Yeah, because what I was gonna say is like this actually reminds me of a lot of like League artwork. I could easily see that being in League. New champ just dropped, yeah. Here, chat. I got you. I got you right here. It's now Caitlyn. And then we'll put her gun right here like Yeah, it's basically that. Okay. I just wanted to see, because, like, Holy Night Supper, the only issue I have with ever mentioning it is, like, this is such an old CE at this point. Good luck on people trying to get their hands on it. It's not one of the ones that got brought back, right? Like, because we got... I think the best one out of the ones we got brought back was Aerial Drive and Golden Sumo, I think, got brought back. You replacing the other 50% MP damage Cs that have 50% charge? Yeah, it's true. You know what? That's actually true. I have a terrible point to make. And then there's the 4-star Cs, chat. This one's not a bad one. Chat, what's the 50% charge CE? That's a 4-star and gives, I think it's MP damage. That's MP gen. Vessel of Desires. An imaginary number attribute. Okay, I think that's plenty of suggestions. Oh my god, please don't do that. I don't know what that was, but please don't do that. Daxter's cool. Thank you for the follow. Would have been perfect with a tax gun. Yeah, it's kind of nutty that they do that to us from time to time. Alright, come on, MP damage list. This is also good on her. Empty Garden. Oh, yes. Yeah, the Tunguska Sea. Thank you. Oh! Yeah, that's a thing. Mm-hmm. I always forget that she has the cooldown reduction. Which is wild, because they basically make everything in her kit higher because of it. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, there's no reason that this is 7 turns. There's no reason. Yep. And then she has the rare one. Yep. Yeah, sorry, I had to think about that one. Okuni's not a unit I use very often, so I definitely needed to refresh my brain so I didn't just stick my foot in my mouth. Which, actually, she did. She did. right, chat, let's get set up. Let's do it. Let me change screens before everyone screams at me. Yeah, there it is. I look over at chat and see everyone screaming at me. Good job. That's what I want you to do, chat. That's what I need. I need all of chat to scream at me that I'm zoomed in whenever that happens at the beginning of a video. Yeah. Hey guys, my name's Khadroth, and today we're going to be talking to you about Izumo no Okuni, your sort of premier unit coming out with Gouda 6. That's going to be coming out here soon on NA. I wanted to get ahead of this one, basically talk to you guys about her so that you guys would have some sort of idea about how to process what is going to be a very novel unit being added to the game as of this point in time. That is to say, there is no other unit like Okuni that will be coming out here on NA for a little bit. And the reason why is because she is going to be the game's first caster who is quick. There will be another quick caster given to you at the end of the year as a welfare, but that caster is a support caster, not a damage dealing one. So we need to kind of talk to you guys about this because it's going to be roughly, I'd say, give or take 7-8 months before you see another one of these. Now, Okuni is an interesting unit because of not just that, but because she also actually has a very intriguing kit. Taking a look at everything about her, she is a limited unit, so you're going to have to roll her in this banner, or again, a rerun banner, or potentially some one-off banner that JP might run from time to time. So you're not going to have a lot of opportunities to get your hands on her if you want her. And again, as a quick single-target caster, she sort of stands alone in an already rare category of single-target casters. So you could definitely say that if you want to collect them all, you're going to have to go after her. Doubly so as she is another Japanese unit that some of you may really like. But none of that is actually talking about her gameplay. So let's go ahead and talk to you about Okuni's kit. Now, starting off right here at the beginning, you guys can see she has 11.3k attack. That is not a bad number, especially considering the fact that she is a caster. So don't worry about it too much, because remember, even though this isn't the most robust number, it's not sitting up there at the 12 or 13k amount. Remember, you do have foes, you do have other things that you can do to increase it, but at the end of the day, a lot of it's just going to come down to having enough modifiers, and Okuni does have that. So don't judge a book by its cover too much here with regards to the attack and HP stat, because again, the HP stat is also not very rigorous, coming in at only 12.9, but there's a reason for that one as well, and I don't think you'll see survivability won't be her biggest issue, so much as it might be an issue in the fact that you would be running her in quick comps a lot, and that would potentially cause you some survivability issues. But Okuni herself is not bereft of hard survival. She is man attribute. She does have 51 star absorption, which is slightly higher than your average caster, but still not too great there. She has 10.9 star generation, and again, NP charge attack of 0.8 right here, which is on the higher end, and you can assume why, given the fact that she is a quick unit. Quick units very often have issues with their NP gain. This is just due to the fact that quick only gains 1.0 times the amount rather than the 3.0 times that Arts gets. So this is where Arts can usually get away with more in their case. So that's why, again, you're going to see a quick unit with higher NP charge attack amounts compared to an Arts unit. Her NP charge defense here is only 3%. Nothing too much to write home about there. And then the death rate is 42%, which is a little bit high, but again, just don't take her into situations where she'd be getting death. But considering most units that can use death are assassins, oh boy, that might be an issue. So it just depends. Make sure you use her and take steps accordingly. Granted, if you're using her in a quick comp, Scotty does have death resistance, so that actually will work to her benefit for once, assuming you can get Scotty to her NP. Her alignment here is going to be chaotic good. She is female gendered, and we don't even have to zoom out for the traits because she doesn't have that many, which usually is a good thing for a unit when they're going to be an enemy against you, because it means there's not that much for the player to exploit when fighting the unit. However, for the player, it means there's not that much for the enemy to exploit, but that's rarely something that you have to worry about too much. So she is humanoid, servant, 7-night servant, and weak to enemy elish only. So not a laundry list of traits like we normally see on most units nowadays. She does have a double buster, double quick deck with only the single arts card. Her hit counts are all basically average, with the one exception being the quick cards are 4 hit instead of 3 hit. And that actually is going to work to her advantage, as again, she is a quick unit. She will actually be decent for you with the performance of the quick cards. But the other cool part about this is, since we have Clairvoyance, we know that Summer Scotty is coming. And Summer Scotty actually helps buff not only quick, but also buster crit. So as a result, you guys can see having the 2 buster cards is now going to be a better thing for quick going into the future. So having that extra buster card there instead of another arts card, well, yeah, she won't have as much capability to NP gain. Because of that, she will at least have that extra crit potential that could help her in carding situations or just hit harder when she needs to stretch the damage coming off the back end of an MP. So this is really a decent thing for her to have, given what we know the support outlook will be in the future for her. With regards to her skills in her kit here, you guys can see that she starts out with a 3-turn steroid to both quick and buster of 30%. That's not some crazy 50% steroid, but it is both card types, which is going to cover, again, as you saw, 80% of her card deck. Really a nice situation to have here, as it means that her cards will just perform well naturally whenever this buff is active. But to top that off, she does also end up with a self-evasion for 2 attacks, 3 turns. So it's not quite protection from arrows, but hey, that's not bad, and you will have the ability to sort of survive multiple hits with it. Given its multi-turn duration as well, that also means you don't have to worry too much about, oh crap, do I use the steroid now and get the damage but then die really immediately after? Or, hey, do I use this on this turn instead, save it for the turn you need it for potentially living, but then lose out because you didn't have the steroid to do enough damage in the first place. So you avoid that hard choice between doing enough damage and then dying, or doing too little damage but staying alive. Instead, you just get the best of both worlds, since everything here is multi-turn. Again, though, this is all on a 7-turn cooldown, and I think you will see that, you know, at least 2 of Okuni's skills here have longer cooldowns, and there's a reason for that. Her second skill here is going to increase her own critical star absorption for 1 turn by 1000%. This is a nice hefty modifier, and I can flat out tell you that while it won't soak every star to her, it is going to be a welcome addition, given that casters don't have the best star absorption in the game. And so as a result, having the ability to soak stars to your quick unit is always going to be a nice thing, and thankfully whenever you're running alongside a unit like OG Scotty there, she's also a caster, so this is just going to help her soak up the stars from her support. This is going to also increase her critical damage by 100%, and that's probably a big takeaway that you should have from this. If you guys remember, Scotty herself increases quick crit damage, so having a unit have the ability to increase their own crit damage by 100% is just bonkers, especially as you start to look towards the future with Summer Scotty and her ability to buff Buster crit. This is not centric to one card type. This is all of her crit damage by 100%, so it doesn't matter if you're buffing quick crits or buster crits, Okuni will be able to pop off with regards to those crits. So the only issue is going to be her actual star generation then, from what we can see here. She will also get the effect of granting a self on attack activate debuff for 1 turn that, just to put into simple terms, whenever she critical attacks an enemy, she will inflict them with defense down by 10% for 3 turns. Not too bad. It's going to be a very nice thing, but it's only going to be for the turn of duration that you use this skill. So you will need to use this on the turn that you're trying to crit, but if that wasn't already apparent by the 1 turn durations of the absorption and the crit damage, I don't know what to tell you. Again, this one's only on a 5-turn cooldown, so relatively short. Definitely something that if you're in a more long form or knockdown drag out fight, you could easily get back to this and use it multiple times. Her third skill, as you can see here, is going to be, whoops, I actually just closed that page. So give me 1 second, as I think I accidentally hit Control W. And I know that from bad experiences earlier. But basically, you guys can see she's actually one of the rare units that also will reduce cooldown reduction. So I've seen a lot of talk about upcoming units, particularly a unit like Summer Ibuki that has it in her kit. And yes, she's not alone. There are other units out there that have one-off cooldown reductions, including Thomas Edison, Okuni here, as well as Maid Alter, all happen to have it on top of several others. So definitely this can be a boon to her, as it can be used not just on herself, but potentially on a support or someone like that to get them back to having their cooldowns up, either for survival purposes and protecting the party, or potentially even for charging Okuni. So that might work to her advantage. And you can see here, while the first aspect of the skill is targetable for the cooldown reduction, she does still get the 50% charge for herself. So this is what's going to be really nice and strong about her, is this is going to keep her in relative parity to some of our other single target casters. We definitely have felt some of the issues of, say, Shootin' Caster and for a long time Midrash, as neither of them really had charge, and how much that poorly impacted their capability compared to some of their counterparts. Okuni comes right out of the gate here with 50% charge, and that will help her keep pace with the likes of Ilya and Sanzang, and even, yes, a newer unit there in Charlotte Corday. So it's definitely going to be nice in terms of allowing her to be able to 3-turn. And you can see here, your star issue also gets solved, as she gets a star bomb that's going to gain her 15 stars whenever she utilizes this. If you use this on turn 1, that means you get stars right away and you could just kind of pop off. Or if you delay this into a turn where maybe you've NP'd already and generated some stars from that, this might push you over the edge to kind of securing crits, or maybe getting everybody 100% crit star generation, or sorry, crit cards. And so that would allow you to really be able to secure the crits. And again, this one's going to be all on a 7-turn cooldown, but now you can kind of see why all of her cooldowns are long, given the fact that she does have a targetable cooldown reduction that she could use on herself. So essentially the way to think about this is, yes, you can deal with 7-turn cooldowns, or you can use it on herself and reduce it to 6. Or you could use it on someone else like we talked about and use it to get them back to another one of their cooldowns. It just depends on the situation and what you're trying to do. For her passive skills here, she has a rather odd territory creation, but this does sort of come with the territory for our casters. This is going to increase arts performance and critical damage each by 4%. She gets a unique item construction that's debuff success rate by 4% and critical damage by 4% again. And then, if you couldn't guess what this one's going to be, a new Okuni Kabuki EX, a unique passive that gives her 2 critical stars every turn, and yep, 4% critical damage again. So just from her passive, she gets 12% extra crit damage on top of that 100% that she'd be getting off the skill, plus anything else provided by her supports. Definitely a really nice crit-centric situation for her to have. Now, starting out with the appends here, I'm actually going to start with the third append, and the reason why is just to kind of inform you of its uniqueness. There are not a lot of units out there that actually manage to have good, useful third appends against the extra classes. Okuni is going to be one of those, as again, not only does she have a unique sort of niche against demonic enemies, but she's also going to end up having a append here going against pretenders. And given the fact that pretender is sort of your alter ego of the sort of knight class variety, where it deals more damage to knight classes and less damage to your cavalry triangle, this is actually going to work to her favor. Taking Okuni against a pretender is not a bad idea. Not like, assuming you don't actually have the true counter, which is a foreigner to go up against, Okuni wouldn't be the worst case scenario if you did manage to have enough coins to unlock this. It's still not going to be my first choice for what you should get for your append, but it did warrant a discussion and a mention as it not being that bad of a third append compared to most others. Her mana loading is still going to be the first choice by and far, because of the reason being of her refund. You're going to want every scrap of charge you can get on Okuni just to allow her to start from better scenarios, better craft essences, name it. And so as a result, I definitely recommend getting that first and maxing it out if you can. Her first skill here is going to be the extra attack finesse. This will certainly help her out in situations where she'd be carding after the NP into a brave chain, maybe getting some extra NP gain off of that. Because remember, this isn't just enhancing your extra damage from the extra attack, it's also going to enhance star generation, which she'll benefit from, and NP generation, which she'll benefit from of the extra attack. So this one, to me, is probably a good choice for your second append to go for. The second append would be your first choice, and the third append would be, well, your third choice. That's how I would kind of approach them in terms of relevance. With regards to her NP, it is a 10-hit single target NP. And you might be thinking, wow, hey, she's probably going to generate a lot of Noble Phantasm. Well, we'll talk about the NP generation numbers here in a second. Again, it's quick. You just kind of need to know at this point to expect not very much. And as a result, she is going to then, from there, reduce one enemy's quick resistance by 20% for 3 turns, activating first. So this is nice because it goes out before the NP, is going to impact the damage of the NP, and is going to stay on the target for 3 turns, meaning you can stack it and get even more capability if you are 3-turning against the same enemy. So really, really nice in that regard, as that can help the damage spiral and, again, improve NP gain potentially if you're hitting just the same enemy over and over again, maybe due to break bar or just an exorbitant sum of health. And you can see here her overcharge effect is she will deal super effective damage to demonic enemies. Not a bad niche, since demonic is a very, very wide niche in the game. You can see not only are there several servants, but there are certainly quite a bit of enemy traits out there that, again, you can see these are demon, but all of this is demonic. So there's quite a bit of stuff that does get impacted by this, including, and I've often talked about this, crabs. Crabs are demonic somehow. I don't know. I don't get it. Just nod your head and say, okay, I understand. Everything in this game is demonic. Not everything is, but a lot of your fodder enemies can be. And again, there are some servants, as you can see, that have it too. So this is really going to help Okuni in certain situations, especially against a lot of bosses. So really, really nice for her to have that super effective modifier. Now, as for what to do with regards to her NP damage, she does have a little bit of an interesting scenario here. And the fact that, as you can see on paper here, here's all of your single target casters. Now remember, this is the sort of neutral numbers without any sort of support backing it up. We'll talk more about her actual numbers here in a second. But as you can see, she does come in basically 4th behind Ilya, Sanzang, and Charlotte. And the last one there, Charlotte, may be the most concerning, as Charlotte just recently showed up in summer, so she does have a lot of recency bias that everyone will favor her for. And again, as a 4-star, a lot of people might have been able to get more MP levels of her. You do have other units like Shootin' Caster, who again is a welfare that you could get to NP5 down here at 51k, but, well, Shootin' Caster, while she does share the same niche, doesn't have any charge, so you're not 3-turning with her anytime soon until JP does something. You do have another 4-star, though, that's permanent in Cersei that really could provide some stiff competition, given the fact that it's entirely possible for you to have multiple NP levels of her that could really help out the damage. And then again, you do end up having sort of the baseline down here, Medea, at 17k. So Okuni up here at 36k without any sort of external buffs. Certainly it can be better, but it's not that bad in the grand scheme of things. And the thing to understand here too is, remember, she does have demonic niche that'll pretty much put her on top. And then she can stack the defense down potentially by getting 2 crits before her NP. So you could potentially utilize that to squeeze out a little bit more damage. Again, up to you, but it is a strategy you could employ. Now, let's talk about her actual refund numbers. With just double Scotty, you're looking at an interesting amount. And that's why I said, like, keep in mind, this is a quick unit, so you're not going to get a whole lot. But just double Scotty against an assassin with only 1 hit of overkill. And we've talked about this. So this would be 1 out of 10 hits. But in order to get even a single hit of overkill, it just means you had to kill the enemy. If you kill an enemy, you will get at least 1 hit of overkill. So in order to get the baseline of 1 hit, aka saying you killed the enemy in the wave, you would be getting, with double Scotty against assassins, 18.9%. That is annoyingly shy of 19% that you would need for that to round up to an even 20. But the good news is, if you just wanted to get 19%, just get 2 hits of overkill, and that'll pretty much do it. So you don't have to worry about it too much. It's really not going to be that hard for you to actually just hit sort of that baseline assumption of 20 in most circumstances, unless the enemy is just really, really beefy and really, really hard to kill. And in that sort of scenario, you need to be thinking more about longevity anyways. But The issue at play here is going to be that even at 10 out of 10 overkill hits, you're only looking at an even 27%. Now, these numbers can improve some with actual Summer Scotty, but it's still not enough that you can reasonably expect to get to 30% charge without carding. So assume for the time being that regardless of original Scotty or Summer Scotty, that you're going to be looking at more that 20% number, because again, you pretty much got to round down even if you can go over that. From there, though, I'm going to say your best sort of scenario for what you could pull off with Okuni would work like this. It would sort of be either Summer or OG Scotty and Oberon. And what you would run into is a scenario, if we work backwards, where maybe you get the 20% charge per turn. It's really not going to factor in too much. And maybe you start out with her append on turn 1. So imagine each one of these is one wave or one turn, if you will. And again, we can come in here and we could put in, say, Oberon's 50% on the final turn because we don't want to deal with his drain. We can also throw in Okuni's own 50% because we know that she has it and we know that we can use it. So as a result, that frees us up a little bit. Now, in here, we're just going to go ahead and drop both the Scotty 50% because that's where we could utilize it. And so you can see Okuni has the ability, especially with an append, with double Scotty and Oberon, to brute force about 220% charge. It's really, really solid. And actually, I say that's not including the append. With the append, it's actually 240. So as a result, what you could do is you could say, hey, maybe I'm going to start with sort of this like open wing type of formation with her, where you have one Oberon, Okuni, and then one Scotty in the front line. And if you do that, you could actually utilize Oberon's 20% charge turn 1. The reason that's significant is because if you combine that with a 20% append, you can now start from a 60% CE, which would be better than the alternative of starting with something like a K-scope. You can get a little bit of extra damage out of using a 60% CE. The problem with that is, for turn 1, your damage won't be that good because you're not going to have double Scotty buffs on turn 1, which means you wouldn't get the 20% here even, but you don't care because you're going to end up brute forcing it with 50% charge anyways. This is sort of that block 50 charge issue that I've talked about a lot with Buster and Quick, where sometimes your charge increments are only 50%, so having smaller increments of like 10 or 20%, you just can't utilize them effectively. But again, as long as you had the damage to kill turn 1, you'd be okay with this because then you would just rotate out the Scotty for another Scotty. And as a result, then you would have both quick buffs as soon as turn 2. Basically, you would pop everything from the remaining Scotty and essentially then use Okuni and Oberon's remaining stuff to finish off the final charge increment. So that would allow you, like we said, to start from a 60% seat. Now, you could start Okuni as low as 50%, but it does require some shenanigans. It basically requires you to do something like Summer Scotty, Reigns, and Oberon. And if you can do that, and again, you might be able to do it with original Scotty as well, but the concept at play there is to just sort of utilize Reigns' ability to break up charge to be able to start from 50% and not waste as much of those 20% charges on the back end. It is kind of weird, but the good part about a quick unit not getting that much refund is the fact that they don't get that much refund. So even when you pull out one of their supports, it doesn't negatively impact the refund number that much either. So it is an intriguing thing to think about. But the issue at play there as to whether or not Reigns would be better actually hinges on, is Summer Scotty in the game yet? And the reason why is because in order to do what I talked about and start from a 60%, that could actually be stronger than starting from a 50%. But it would require you to be able to have Summer Scotty in the game so that when you're only starting with one, you're not losing, if you will, any of those defense downs. Summer Scotty replaces a defense down with instead an attack up of 3 turns that just gets carried between waves. Whereas original Scotty has a defense down that must be placed on the wave. So if you're rotating out a Scotty in turn 2, that means you'd have to kind of use or lose the defense down on that turn. Thus, she wouldn't outperform the actual 50% starting charge Reigns comp in those scenarios. a little bit complex, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here, that essentially Reigns and starting from 50% would be better potential from a standpoint of Summer Scotty not being out. The second Summer Scotty is in the game, you don't lose any of that potential from swapping them, and thus starting from 60% would actually outscale. But it does ultimately depend on what you're trying to do. And so it really can depend on who that third support is that you're taking. Are you taking Oberon? Because Oberon, if you remember, can boost NP damage, and that could really help out depending on the craft essence coming into play. And so talking about that with you guys can see that sort of your go-to for a 60% C would be Knights of Marines. It's still just really, really strong. It's all attack scaling. It's from the original summer event, but it does occasionally get a banner here and there. It has 60% charge and 15% quick damage. Obviously, if you don't want to make it too rough, you can still start out with K-Scope. That is certainly a thing you can do. And you could even start out with Black Grail if you manage to, but that's going to be more situations where you think you're going to have carding coming into play, maybe up against break bars or sort of servant gauntlet, you name it. Either way, I wouldn't touch Black Grail unless you think that you have the capability of overcoming the charge deficit with card refund. And you're not going to get card refund if you're killing the enemy with your NP. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Holy Night Supper is going to be sort of your go-to old school 50% charge C, but a lot of people have a hard time getting their hands on this. The one good thing that we can say about Holy Night Supper is, yeah, not only is it going to give crit damage, but it also gives 15% NP damage that can be boosted by Oberon. But there are numerous other options in spite of that and since that, including Traces of Christmas, which is a 50% starting charge C that's all attack scaling. It has quick performance of 10% and NP generation of 10%. Could help Okuni some. It might help tilt her over to, certain well-rounded increments, but it's not going to push her probably to something like, say, 30%, because again, you just need a whole lot to get to something like that. There is also True Crimson Spear Trainer. This one was a gacha C, unlike Traces of Christmas, which was a welfare from an old lotto event. This one is essentially a gacha from an old lotto event, but it is a very nice craft essence that's all attack scaling, starting charge of 50%, critical damage of quick cards by 20%, and quick performance by 15%. And then we do end up having a sort of stellar option for NP damage of 15%, starting charge of 50%, and quick up of 8%. This is sort of like Ocean Flyer. The problem with this is Cherry Icicle is not all attack scaling. It sadly got gimped because I guess the Lightworks just hates quick in certain ways. And as a result of that, honestly, if you were to even just factor out the quick, then at that point, you could run Ocean Flyer instead? Especially if you've already managed to level it to 100, as that extra attack power really does make that much of a difference. So it's just up to you to determine that. And there is another one coming actually next year called Cranking. That's your Buster one. That's going to happen from the Bunyan Welfare, a Welfare C from the Bunyan collab event. And so you can go with that one if you choose instead as well. It's just up to you to determine which one you want. There are also your 4-star CEs like Vessel of Desires that are just 15% NP damage and 50% gauge. They don't scale as high, but if you're in a pinch and you just don't have anything better, you can use that. Same thing with Imaginary Number Attribute here. It's also another 4-star at 50% starting charge and 10% quick performance. So again, up to you to determine what you want to use. But there is one more C I'd like to mention. This is a C that's going to be coming out at the end of the year in the gacha that some of you might be rolling. That is to say, if you plan on doing Tunguska and you want to either bond it really efficiently or don't have a Black Grail, rolling that gacha might not be too bad because for once, and in probably a really scummy move, the devs put the damage CE for the event in the gacha. As a result, if you can manage to roll this one, like I said, it will give you extra damage and it will give you extra bond, but also you will manage to have an all attack scaling CE with 50% charge, 10% critical damage, and Buster and quick performance of 10% each. A really solid option for Okuni as she can kind of utilize all of those things down the stretch. So it's up to you to determine what you want to do. As for her actual numbers, if we're just kind of talking sort of double Scotty and Oberon right there, and this is actually assuming a K-scope right here, but you'd be looking at about like 71k for wave 1, 71k for wave 2, and 257k for wave 3. But again, I'm not sure that one's the best sort of solution, so it just depends. If you wanted to do like I talked about that Knights of Marines variant, you'd be looking more along the lines of about 100k for wave 1, 150k for wave 2, and 269k for wave 3. But those numbers did include Summer Scotty, so if you're using original Scotty, it just depends. You might need to tweak it some. So again, you can get some decent numbers out of her. The issue would be comparing her against some of her other contemporaries, like, say, again, Summer Charlotte. Summer Charlotte, if you put her in an appropriate comp there with basically double Castoria and Oberon, the issue with her is she can touch Black Grail, so her damage numbers get a little bit spicier even at NP1. So you're looking at 130k for wave 1, 130k for wave 2, and 297k, almost 298k for Charlotte NP1 with double Castoria, Oberon, and a Black Grail. So that kind of is sort of the issue, is her kind of necessity to start from 50% or even 60% in order to get the job done. But we can also compare her to some of our Buster units, which just really depends on what you're trying to do. And also sort of the units that you would manage to have alongside her. Compared to some of the Buster casters, Cersei in a double Oberon Koyanskaya setup would be looking at 134k wave 1, 134k wave 2, but 550k in wave 3. So definitely some punch there. And then Ilya as well could be, basically just at NP1. And that was actually NP2 Cersei. For NP1 Ilya, you'd be looking at a double Koyanskaya and Oberon setup. And at that point, it would be starting out with a 50% C. But you would be basically doing 90k wave 1, 124k wave 2, and 259k wave 3. And also, again, another addendum. The Cersei was, like I said, NP2, but also assuming an unlocked depend and a Black Grail. So that's why her numbers were so crazy there. But then compared against something like Sanzang at NP1 with a max depend, you'd be having to start out with like a 60% C. It's very similar to Okuni in this circumstance. And you'd be getting, a double Oberon with Koyanskaya set up on that one. And the best case scenario you're going to hope for at MP1 on Sanzang of that is going to be 91k, 111k on wave 2, and then 397k on wave 3. So again, Okuni is not going to be necessarily your powerhouse, but most of your powerhouses there are Buster, and that's because they get that sort of double dip from not only having a relevant support, but also just being able to have and fully utilize Oberon's third skill. Buster is always going to kind of have that advantage in terms of damage, but I think the issue with some of our single target casters, especially when we start looking at a unit like Cersei or Sanzang, is they have so much charge they can kind of brute force things. You can brute force things with with Okuni, but you're not necessarily going to get the same numbers. So you're going to be more looking at something like her demonic niche in order to really let her pop off. And you could get some really solid stuff out of that, as again, that might change her numbers to, like I said, with that sort of 60% Knights of Marines comp, you'd be looking at about 153k wave 1, 230k wave 2 already, and then 404k wave 3, which is putting you at really solid numbers compared to just about everyone other than Cersei with that Black Grail. So really, really good stuff if she's in niche. And when she's outside of niche, she might get beat by some of her other contemporaries. But again, like I said, Izumo is an interesting unit. She is your first quick caster in that regard. So let me know what you guys think about that. Would you guys prefer to use a quick unit as a caster? Are you guys excited to have quick units join the caster entourage there? And with regards to Izumo, are you going to be rolling her? And which Ascension is your favorite? Also, the fact that she is, at least by her puppet, voiced in part by Mafia is another thing there. So I'll be curious to read your guys' comments. Let me know what you guys think below, and I will see you guys for the next one. Have a good one. I started stumbling over myself there at the end. Okay. Why am I getting DMs? Hell yeah. Those last Izumos, I'm sorry, I tried Avalon. I had to sneak one in. Another vid in the books, yep. Senzang's pretty good if you need to use 2 DPS. Senzang is still one of the best quality of life you can get with regards to your casters. Like, her damage doesn't necessarily stack up as hard anymore, but it is still a really useful thing to have, I would say. Chat. Let's go do Samurai Remnant for the last 40 minutes here, because I could do the daytime Grailfronts. I think they're just going to be more boring versions of what we already have, right? Like, so I think this is probably an arguably better, more entertaining. And we were doing the recollection fights, so like, they're not the easiest thing in the world. Sadly, chat, I think we will skip the opening for once. Just so I don't get DMCA'd. Or maybe I'm not. Okay, there we go. I did apparently, even yesterday, even though we didn't do anything that was like DMCA-able, I got the ads limited on stream apparently because I cussed too much. Which I did cuss some today already. Which is soul draining. The fact that I have to like actually watch what I say is kind of wild to me. Just because I'm not a very rude person otherwise. But okay. YouTube algorithm, it do be like that sometimes, chat. But yeah, we're gonna be continuing on with our whatchamacallits, our recollection fights here. Which Booba is bigger, Sanzang or Sugitani? This is an important question. Sanzang. Absolutely. Absolutely Sanzang. Here in chat, let me actually hoist myself so that you guys can see. I realized I've been blocking it for the past couple streams. Did I not polish my sword? The scratch as a teacher one. Can't remember the name. Oh shit. I totally took my hand off the controller. Wait, did I get like another shot there? Was that because I was using a better thing? I don't remember that being a thing. Or it went again? Yeah, that was like kind of wild there. The game took it easy on me. Let me make sure I haven't unlocked any other renovations. I have not. Oh, I am going to, because I have just not been using her. I am going to switch to someone else here. I'm thinking Ku. Just so I actually have someone to fight. Because I realized I've been giving myself by taking Arya, since these are very affinity technique heavy. Silent Sniper, fight Rogue Archer. Wait, who is Rogue Archer? Oh, yeah. Well, I'm glad I didn't put Arjuna in. Oh god, dude, I'm stuck in a fucking corner. Fucking camera! Ah, damn it, I cussed again. I'm sorry, chat. Fudging camera. Ow! Oh, wow. Okay, that was me shaking off my rust. I got hit by way too much there. Arjuna with his homing lasers? Yes. Oh my god. TOS, yeah. Oh my god. I am just gonna keep spiraling that thing on top of you and not give a shit. Give a stuff. Bad, holy crap. Have I been cussing that much, chat? Am I not family friendly? Okay, hit him with my asthma. I don't like that wastes your transformation time. Ow? Like, what? Oh, dude, what? He never used that one on me before, so that's a new move. Or I beat him so badly he never got to. Can't think of the children. I need to. Get in the wall. Oh, I won. Let's go. That's another sword lock I actually won. This new Arjuna buff is insane. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. Arjuna is one of the easier bosses to beat in this game, I feel like. But he is still better than his FGO version. Like, it's kind of depressing. Oh, of course, rope to hang my... I mean... Sword versus bow and melee? Well, yeah, as you know, Saber beats Archer, as was the case in the anime. Just not in FGO. Okay, wait, oops. I ran off too far. Okay, so we got that one done. There's only two more. Snarling Hound, fight Rogue Lancer. Oh, boy. This one requires a lot of CAD running around again, too, chat. And he already hit me once. Oh, dude. I could not see what direction he was facing. Wait, did I win? I think I won. Yeah. He immediately did the ground, like basically his shotgun blast move. I'm sorry, that made me laugh. You know what? Take that, coup. Better than dealing with being unable to see you while you, while you do whatever you were about to do to me. Nope. Ah, wow. It's actually like every time that thing hits Ku, it chunks him and it lags me. It's kind of funny. man, I thought he was gonna not get hit. Yeah, you can see it like cannot handle it. Oh! Bro! You did the fucking, sorry. You did the freaking, animation where you're doing the break bar again, and you immediately went into a super fast channel? No way. Oh, perfect. He wasted that. Oh my god, dude. He almost pinned me against the wall. He just recovers so fast is part of the issue. I was very lucky. Yeah, there it is. He did it again. So that's just his gimmick in this fight. Wow. What a little muffin button. Nope. Oh, God. I don't know where he is. Wait, is this spear supposed to be stuck that color? Because that is terrifying. Dude! The fact that he cut off my dodge. Ow. You know what? No. Yeah, take it again. There we go. Imagine if they could NP. I mean, I think it'd be okay if you just had to block it, right? Because, like, at that point, you would just save affinity for it, as long as they didn't spam it too often, right? Didn't even use his guts, what a fool, right? Seemed to be using cleanse, though. He was coming out of things really fast. Couldn't keep him stunned. Guys struggle with game mechanics? Oh wow, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely me. Now, honestly, this game has not been that hard. It's only been like here even lately that I've even been using healing. I actually didn't touch a single healing item. Oh no, it did not just give me this fight. No, it did not. I was, so, like, I have no affinity at the moment, so that's why I'm, like, I'm playing, fast and loose with this. My brother in Christ, how the fuck are you supposed to win that? Like, that one I don't think is actually winnable. What is this gonna be? Oh, this one's not too bad. Okay, I'm glad I didn't use the affinity to stop it. I was gonna say, I didn't actually see where he went. He appeared inside me, basically. Yeah, I was gonna say it's gotta be the break bar. Okay, that wasn't it. I'm surprised. Oh, the last one hit me? I need to not get hit by those. Those are so easy to dodge. Oh! Oh! That's his clear out move. I forgot he had that. Holy crap. I don't... Dad, is there another break bar? I think there is. He is 3, right? Knowing my luck, he is 4. Perfect frame. Oh, he didn't like that. Whoa, did that miss him? Bro, you are so much more staggerable. Yeah, this is where I really gotta start watching out. I was late on that one, that was dangerous. Oh shit! Oh, I got very lucky. I got very lucky. No, dude! I hate so much that using an affinity technique slows, like, you down, but not the boss. Jed, I will not do infinite attempts on this tonight, so this is a kill shot. Let's go. Get stunned even more. Okay. I like how he's just super armor untargetable while in such a pose. Bro, what? He's also doing moves so fast that, like, I can't get affinity gauge on him. We're gonna do this. That was just tragic. It happens. That's what this fight is. You know the perfect way to dodge everything, and it just fucks you. No way. Get out. Oh! Oh, thank God. Thank God. I was fucked. I pushed Gil way too hard there. That was dangerous. He actually almost got all the way up on me. What? No, that's bullshit. That's actually bullshit, Gil. You know it. It's Gil. It is. It is, but basically he one-tapped me with the backslash and follow-up. Which is like, what? I also don't like that every single one of those is a single tap. Alright, chat. This is the last attempt. He one taps you? Yeah. He literally does. With any of his red moves, you will die if you're hit even once. You haven't even seen, like, he's only done the most bullshit one time so far. Because I haven't let him get it off, but... I dodged the very first one. I don't know why it said it hit me. Like, my character was actually out of the fucking area. What? Brother. Oh man, I got lucky. The torrent did not target the right area. Torrent seems to be like, you have to be facing the target for it to work. Chad, I love when like he just super armors and I can't deal damage to him. Like right here, he's just gesturing, but you do no damage. I don't know what that was. I don't know how I got clipped somehow in that. No. Like, once you learn his patterns, he's really not that bad. I know you're doing it. Like, they're gonna free stun you. He looked like he was gonna do the chain attack and he didn't. Bro, I don't know how you're hitting me with those. That's freaking ridiculous. I literally see it coming every time and I'm already pressing it. But you're like a frame too fast somehow. You can see how close those are to hitting me. He's not that bad, dice. He really isn't. You can see, you can dodge 99% of his stuff. It's just, he has so many freaking moves, he will eventually hit you with something. Like, he is a fight where if he hits you, you probably die type stuff. So it's very unforgiving, even though his moves are easily dodgeable. Oh wow, I actually bullied him out of it. Oh, that was his clear out move. That would have killed me if that had hit. I like that Scarlet Spear move. That move's fucking amazing. It's way more accurate than Torrent. Yeah, you can see he is getting really pissed because I am pushing his shit in. Nope. This way I don't have to wait. Whatever the fuck he was about to do, he's probably going to do his bullshit. You have to stand aside for 2 of my attacks. Please no, 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 please no. And you can see if you're close to him, sometimes you can bait him into certain things. Like his melee moves are actually... If that hit me, I died. Like, that was some BS. I didn't push you, she did. Oh my god. He's not liking this. He's just getting bullied. And he's getting really fucking pissy every time I bully him. Fading him into a riposte is incredibly satisfying. Yeah. Ah! Oh, what? I didn't know what that one was. I was like, I'm just gonna keep dodging and hope whatever it is doesn't hit me. Yeah, break bar. So here's the final break bar. I just need to not get hit. This is the worst one. No, nope, Saber, don't attack me. God, that was close. He almost got it off. He was way faster that time. Yeah, whatever he's about to do, no. He almost got it off again. He's just trying. He's trying so fucking hard to get his bullshit move off. I really shouldn't risk that, but... It's like phase 2. I think this is the last break bar, unless he has another one for this version. Oh shit! It's that variant! Oh god! That variant gets nasty. Just stun him. No, 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 no! Done. 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 No. That's when he's focused entirely on another person, and the second you walk up to him to try to hit him in it, he just goes boop and just reverses it. No, that's his bullshit mechanic, chat. It is really difficult if you're not in water stance. It is extremely RNG as to whether or not you can outrun it. It is really rough. So I can see the flash going through your eyes. Yeah. So we'll end there. To be continued. We can beat him though. I'm not too worried about that. He's as hard as I remember, but it is what it is. Let me see who all's on tonight. Who all we give love to. Ooh, I see a Mr. Skyd on, so we're gonna go give Skyd some love. I haven't gotten to raid Skyd in a hot second. And he's a fantastic artist. He did the Starfield art for me, if you guys remember. Anyways, we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is more FGO, and it's Friday, so it should be some League. So we'll be having more of that. Trust me, we will get this done. I'm not worried about it. I hope you guys aren't either. It just is taking me some time, which actually annoys me probably more than it does you. But again, I hope you guys enjoyed. At least it is fun to watch me suffer, quote unquote. And I will see you guys for the next one. Go give Skyd my love, and have a good night.